Welcome into another Friday. I was almost going to say welcome into Untitled Series, but it is not the Untitled Series. This is PopUp with Jacob, as you know. The link is out there. Y'all want to come in and have your say. Going to preview a little bit of United today. Hope y'all are living well. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I hope you're living the same way. So big ups to everybody. Good afternoon to my American folks, and good evening to those of you in the UK, and good morning, early morning. I think it's about 4 or 5 in the morning out there in Australia. So if you're watching this live or on playback, big up yourself right now. I just want you to know that I appreciate you, because sometimes these shows I miss some of the comments. I'll try not to. I already got 3 beautiful people lined up in the back, and that's not a euphemism for anything, I promise you. But I'm not going to spend too much longer talking here by myself. This is Pop-Up with Jacob, where I do want to preview United. Together we can do it. If you're a rival, we can get into it. It really don't matter, but I'm not going to take much longer. I'm going to say what's up to the chat while I bring in these 3. It's going to make 4 with me, but I'm going to bring them in. We'll start talking to them right away, and we'll see how we're doing. But before I do that, let me say thank you to the Patreon members of the channel. Thank you to the YouTube chat members of the channel. Big up yourself every time. Thank you for going above and beyond the Call of Duty. So I do appreciate that. Let me go ahead and bring them in. I'm just going to bring them all in at once. How are we doing, Adrian? How are we doing, Kate? Just a girl who loves Spurs.
I'm fine, thank you, Jacob.
Good, thank you.
Very nice. Good to have you both here. We had a third in the back. He was there. I guess he didn't like the intro and he left. Maybe he's having connection issues. I don't know. But let's say what's up to the chat. But before I do that, we're less than 24 hours until Manchester United.
Yes.
Oh, before I get any further, there is Shiver Me Timbers. Celine Dion, did she sing Take My Breath Away? Who was that? Whitney Houston? Tina
Take
Turner?
My breath. No, it was.
Take my breath away.
Was it Maria?
I don't know who it was.
No, I can't remember.
But either way, this next person I'm bringing on takes my breath away every time. And what a refreshing sight for sore eyes. Kuva is in the house.
Whoa,
We've got Kuva royalty. We are blessed. How you feeling, my friend?
By the way, I think it was Carol Decker with Tapau, wasn't it? For Take My Breath Away.
I have no idea. But you would. I trust you. Whatever you say, I'm betting on it. So, how are you doing, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, I'm good here. Been super busy, like as you know, we're moving house and everything. Stressful times, but light at the end of the tunnel now. Sort of on the home stretch, and weight off the shoulders, mate. Like so many people at the moment in today's economic climate, everybody's worried about money and your home and putting food on the table. And I'm in the lucky position where when I move home, I'm going to be out of debt. It's the weight off the shoulders is incredible. So I'm really hyped up, and we got a new manager in that plays the sort of football I love. So rock on. I'm enjoying myself now.
It's interesting you say that. You're turning a new leaf personally, and then from a Tottenham perspective, we're also turning a new leaf. No longer Harry Kane. I'm going to ask you, I don't think I've talked to you about the Harry Kane thing. You've seen some legends leave the club. I often reference you when I say, these are some folks that have seen multiple legends leave the club, and they're still here. They're okay. I'm going to be honest, Kuva. I have the Bremen Bayern Munich game on down here. So if you see me looking down, that's definitely what I'm checking. He's already got an assist. It's hard to not pay attention. I said this on Twitter yesterday or the day before, I really don't remember, but I'm still in the stage, if you think of Titanic, where he's holding on. I mean, he's about halfway frozen to death. We all know he's going to sink to the bottom of the ocean, but he's still holding on to those. I'm still holding on. I need to let go, but maybe you got some tips for anyone like me, Kuva.
We always find another hero. Let's face it, you and I, we are big fans of Romero, aren't we?
Aren't we?
Bloke, so
aren't we? Yeah. Look at us now.
Absolutely.
So
there's always.
We've just mentioned 3 song titles.
Oh yes, Berlin. That's who they're right in the chat.
Yeah.
They did another big one around about that sort of time as well. I can't remember what that was. Never mind.
Anyway, to cheer you up. You up the light at the end of the Spurs tunnel. Levy switched it off to save money.
Big up everyone in the chat. I want to say what's up at least to the YouTube chat members before I keep going along. There's the link to call in. Let me make sure I have it pinned. I do not. I will pin it now for anyone who wants to come in. But y'all, how are we thinking? Adrian, let me start with you. What's the general energy you have going into tomorrow? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you pumped? You think we're going to run through that brick wall that's right behind you? How are you feeling?
Well, I get called delusional because I wouldn't leave my front door in the morning and go to the game tomorrow if I thought we were going to lose. I've always had that attitude. Don't get me wrong. I align that with a practical attitude. I'll try to be practical and, and even-minded about things, but I'm always positive. We will win tomorrow. But I say that for every game, home and away.
I usually have a more rational brain. Earlier in the week, if you'd asked me Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd probably give you a more rational response. But something about 24 hours before kickoff, my blood starts boiling. Kate, where are you at right now as far as going into this match tomorrow?
I'm buzzed. I was a little bit nervous until we heard the news that Romero's playing. I was a little bit anxious, but I'm buzzed. I think it'll be high scoring, loads of goals, and Tottenham will nick the win 3-2, I think. So, yeah, buzzing.
I love the energy. Welcome, Mark, as well to the show. Mark, how are we doing? Good evening, sir. Good evening indeed.
Hello, Mark. All right, mate?
Yes, very well, very well.
Are you going tomorrow?
Sorry?
Are you going tomorrow?
No. Yes, well, I could probably get tickets, but no.
We'll meet in the Gilpin one.
How are you feeling though? Looking at it from are you going to watch the match and are you excited? Are you going into it thinking that we can get the number over on United? Because personally, I feel a little bit excited, a little bit moist around the tip, if I be honest, when I think about what we could do to United. But what about you? Where's your mindset going into this match?
Yeah, why not? This is the first time for a long time that I've actually wanted to watch us play. Instead of like, oh, we're on, I've got to sit down and watch it. And then if you miss 10 minutes, we're normally 2-0 down by then anyway. So it don't matter.
Kuva.
Well, that's the story of Conte's reign, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2-0 down in 10 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think a lot of people are feeling it now. There's this kind of optimistic sort of undertone to what's going on at the club at the moment. We're not too satisfied maybe with transfers and the off-pitch stuff, but there is something about this manager and there's something about the way the players are responding, and we're just going for it. And it's football that's palatable, even if you don't get a positive result. You just enjoy what you're seeing. For me, entertainment, number one priority. Why watch otherwise? You might as well just watch a result in text form if that's all you care about. Get a bit of excitement, fans roaring. Let's see if we can actually get that wall of noise that we were supposed to be having at the behind the goal. And game on. I'm loving it. I'm so looking forward to games now. Last season, I didn't even want to watch. I literally would choose to go and do something else. Coined the phrase "toys, toys, toys."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Just hated it, everything about it. So it's like this last 4 years, it feels like we've come out of that gloomy, cold, dark, raining graveyard of football, and we're heading off to the amusement park. It's good stuff. I'm loving it. I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't matter. We're just gonna bomb forward and score goals regardless.
Yeah, and I've kind of resigned to the fact that we're going to concede goals. We defensively last season, even in a defensive setup, we were conceding a record number of goals. So I have no doubt that we will continue in the consistent manner in which we like to. When I talk to Manchester United fans, they all say, okay, well, where are the goals from United coming from? Because outside of Rashford, they really don't feel much confidence in a lot of, like, their Garnacho, their Sancho's, Antony. They don't have a lot of end product, so to speak. Maybe Bruno, if he's having a good day, but some days he doesn't, and he's just slicing those things left and right. So, I really think it's going to be an interesting time in which we get to play United and where we're at as a squad as well. We're going to concede, but damn it, we're going forward, like you said, Kuva. And it's almost, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, but at least you didn't die a coward. And it seemed like last season we fought some good fights. And we won, but overall, when we lost like cowards, and we went out with our heads down. And I think even if we go out, and we bag 3 on them and they put 4 on us, at least we know we gave it a go. We put it all out there, and it really gave it a go for the money. And honestly, I think that's the thing you were alluding to as well, Kuva, that the belief, the positiveness, the turn of fans as well. Because I think even if you were a person like myself who was dead set on Conte or Jose bringing us success, and they did not, this is still a moment where you can say, well, this is still somebody I can get behind here. He may not be a serial winner. He may not be a Jose type in his prime, but he's Ange Postecoglou, and the way that he's handled himself at every juncture, at every turn, he's been thrown. I mean, think about the short amount of time that he's been here and how much of that was consumed by Harry Kane drama and not even his football, him talking about any of that. Can y'all hear my son screaming like a madman in the... I apologize about that.
I thought it was Jim.
I do apologize. He's fighting a nap, so he's just going crazy. He's, you get a little delusional when you're sleeping. You're like, yeah, fuck this, and start throwing things. So apologies about that. Big up Elvis G in the chat, says evening off. Got a good feeling about Saturday. A lot of love here for Kuva as well. Big up Yosarian. Big up Daniel. Lazy 8's in the house. Big up Lazy 8. Big up Nick. Big up Debt-Free Kuva, the Viking. I love it. Jacob, we can still love Kane, and why not? Kane is still Spurs. He's still Spurs in his profile photos on social, at least. I don't know who's paying attention to it, but there's Shawnee. Says toys, 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 toys. Sorry if I scared you off earlier, Sean.
That's so last season, mate. Get with the program.
Big up Alpinder.
Sean, click the link. Come on.
He was in the back, but I think my long intro wore him out and he had to dip.
No,
so.
he has internet problems. I wanted to talk about him for about
I'll tell you what. Yeah, tell you what. Sean and I have disagreed on so many things over the last couple of seasons, but one thing we've always agreed on is
Sean, get your butt on here, mate.
Playing good football. We just need to enjoy what we're watching, and that's it.
Yeah. This new process reminds me a lot of the sort of mid to late 90s when I used to go a lot.
Yay!
And I did used to go a lot then, and like we weren't that good, but we always tried. You know what I'm saying? You know, we were like the 3 times I went last year. It was boring, and we won every game, but it bored me to tears. Well, in the Palace game, I walked out when Eric Dyer come on. That was about 78 minutes, I think. Something like that.
If you're going to move me up to the top, I'm going to have to scroll back down again. Guys.
No, I'm putting you front and center, baby, right there. As soon as your eyes lock onto the video, we get to see Sean from Spurs Talk Show. How are you doing, my friend?
When you're on the bottom shelf, you have to sit up a little bit. When you're on the top shelf, you have to slouch a little bit, like your back bus kind of stuff. How's everybody doing? It's almost game day!
Sean, did you sort your antenna out?
Sean's a big bloke, aren't you, mate? You 6'4" or something?
I'm 6'1.5", 6'2".
6'1.5", yeah, well, there you go. And you look tiny because you're sunk down in your chair all the time.
No, I've got a bad posture, mate. I cannot sit. My bum does not like taking the pressure, so I put it on like my kind of lower back instead. Listen, when I'm 50, that's a problem for 50-year-old Sean to worry about. Right now, my bum doesn't want to be feeling the heat. So.
Don't worry about posture. It's all about Postecoglou.
Yeah, you go.
Postecoglou, yeah. Sean, I've asked the panel. I've generally, stuck my thumb in the engine, so to speak, of everyone thus far, and you were next. How are you feeling going into tomorrow? Specifically having United, they looked a little shaky, maybe a perfect time to play them. Are you excited? Are you anxious, fearful? What's your general mood going into tomorrow?
I'm more worried about what's going to happen to me on the way to the stadium as I walk past 2 simultaneous protests of things that I haven't really supported than I am about what stadium. I feel like I might be on the receiving end of some ammunition,
Some tomatoes, maybe. They got something soft. Hopefully, it's something soft.
Now, listen, I respect. I've always said I respect and appreciate everyone's requirement. If you feel like you are unhappy with the club, then it's not only is it your right to protest, it's your duty, it's your responsibility to voice it. I don't personally share the same apathy towards the ownership, but I'll always support everyone who wants to do it. I do worry about whether or not someone recognizes my hat. You know,
wear it backwards. And they'll be like, that can't be Sean. He wouldn't wear it backwards. Really throw him off, you know. That'd be fun. Big up. Lazy 8 says Sean Butler's my baby daddy.
Fair enough.
The allegation's true. Are you going to beat those allegations, Sean?
Wait, my internet dropped. What did you say?
Lazy 8 claims that you're the father of their child.
Of whose child?
Lazy 8's. Nick.
I mean,
he says Sean Butler's my baby daddy. What are you saying? You beating the case or not?
As long as there's no test.
No, Billie Jean, Sean. Billie Jean.
Yeah. Big up Mile High Hotspur. Big up Leo. Jim, yes, Sean is part of the family. I think he was going to tell us that he's got to go.
No, his internet. It's his internet.
No, he's just really happy.
He's got a worse computer than me.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
I think it's not. It's not. I think it's not the computer. It's the connection. I think his computer's fine. It's just his internet likes to take the mix sometimes.
He's in Weybridge, so he needs an antenna. He's outside the 5G zone. So I did try and message him on Twitter and say, like, go and look at antennas on YouTube, and then after you look them on YouTube, go and look at the reviews, and then follow the review which recommends the best ones. You know. So, I don't know.
Mia says Sean needs a bodyguard. He needs a bodyguard and an antenna from the looks of it. He's still frozen. I have him backstage. He hasn't completely dropped out. I just figured, you know, for this. Oh, there he goes. He's gone now. Big up Sean, Spurs Talk Show. If you haven't subscribed there, do subscribe. The man's
come back, Sean.
He might. You know, maybe just got to restart the router.
He's dropped off. We can trash talk him for a couple of minutes now.
Yeah, of course. Curve,
throw tomatoes at him when he runs past the protest.
I've never seen Curve look so happy. You can see the tension's gone out your face. You look totally different.
Yeah. Combination of things, but football will always do it. It's the one universal thing we all have. No matter what's happening in real life with your personal shit, you just look forward to your team doing well on the weekends, don't you? It's a massive thing, especially if you live local. I mean, I used to be in North London for a few years as well. Grew up there when I was very little, moved away, but I know the atmosphere. Everything's centered around the club. The two things are always the same. You're looking for what you're going to have for dinner that day, who we're playing at the weekend. That's all that matters. The rest of it's just wasting time on stuff. Yeah,
well, all the pubs locally, like, you know, the Bricklayers and the LTs and the Gilpin and like Number 8 and Beavertown and Coach and Horses, they'll all be rocking tomorrow because we always get a big game early in the season and the stadium is going to absolutely rock tomorrow. It will rock.
You know, I'm a little disappointed. Adrian, I'm going to speak about the atmosphere for a second because I got excited when I saw people leaking photos of their emails that they were getting from those who sit, I believe, in the South Stand. They're getting a Tifo tomorrow. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is going to be a beautiful Ange Postecoglou, like, welcome. And it's just very simple, very vanilla welcome to N17. And I was like, we could have done better. And they're doing like the made by the fans, created by the fans, paid for by the fans, which shouldn't be happening. But then all this other stuff, it's all done by the fans. And then it's like kind of vanilla. I'm like, why are we doing this? Has anyone seen the photos? I'll try and pull it up on Twitter, but X. But has anyone seen those photos of what the Tifo is going to look like tomorrow?
No, and the club needs to wake up, don't they, with regard to the atmosphere. Because when you look around, one, there's only a paltry amount of flags in the bottom of the South Stand. And then you look at Newcastle when we were away last year. When you look at Dortmund in Germany, you know, the whole yellow wall, it's full of flags and it creates so much atmosphere. And like the club have got these limits on the size of the flags and they took the drummer away mainly because when he beats it, the fans chant yids, and they didn't like that. But I think they've come around, they've lost that one. That fox has been shot, right? So
Yeah, the drummer's back now, isn't he? Drummer's back.
Yeah, he's back now.
But
So
the drummer's going to sit six rows to my north. He's 6 rows above me. So
Hello, David from Nepal. Big up. But this is it.
But
this is the Tifo. Anyone else disappointed or no? Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's
terrible.
not a kangaroo.
Where's the damn kangaroo?
That's really,
Yeah.
exactly. That's so disappointing.
Or at least like welcome Ange, welcome or like some.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not to make it all about him. I guess let me take that back a little bit. But surely, don't call me Shirley. We could have done something better than
the
this.
weirdest part is that the people that make those things make out like every one of them costs something like 15 grand or something stupid, right? And I'm like,
Interesting.
it can't. It's like 10,000 pieces of A4 paper. Let's not possibly like over egg the pudding here. It can't be. Not even 10,000. What is it? Like 7,000. It can't be that. Like I've got like a printer that could bang that out in about, I don't know, a few hours.
Yeah, y'all ain't got staples out there in the UK. What's going on?
No, it's just a bit of paper. You just hold up, right? You just hold up a bit of paper. It could be cardboard. It could be a bit of paper, but it's just one. It's either going to be blue or it's going to be white. It's not that complicated. It really isn't. How are they going to
top of the range computer though? The spell check on that scale.
Imagine they printed one out and it was missing like the L. We come to N17.
That's what you want to see one day, isn't it? You really do want to see that one day. A Tifo in the stand and there's a spelling mistake or.
Yeah.
So we need more flags. And what do you guys think about like those that have been to the music in the stadium? We should be playing something like Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle, or something like that, really getting the buzz going. But it seems to me they want it all sanitized and pure and politically correct and nicey and pink and fluffy in there. Well, you're not going to get an atmosphere with that. You will generate.
I want to get that Arsenal. I want to do like, because I make music, right? So I'd like to get together with someone like Brains McLeod, who's really good with his music. And then like build an anthem.
Brains.
You know, like Arsenal have got that. It's like North London forever, whatever the song is, right? It's a brilliant song, but it's unfortunately it's an Arsenal track. But they play it. Right, you could easily make an anthemic kind of song if it could get viral and take off. That took in all of the kind of experience of living around Tottenham, Seven Sisters Road, Chick King, whatever. If you could like talk about the history, put it into an anthemic sort of ensemble, I think we could have our own version of what Arsenal have, like what Liverpool have. Or just go the easy route, just go Guns N' Roses, to be honest.
There is a group for songs at Spurs now that are through a Last Word on Spurs for Ricky Sachs. He knows the guitar player and all that. And they get fans to send in lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, but that's a positive change. But like the club haven't got a clue, you know. I mean, like you need flags all over that south stand, you know.
Yeah.
Giant flags. You need the front row. Yes. You need the front row to have giant flags before the game, and then when goals scored. But ultimately, if the guy at the front has got like a 40-foot flag, it's going to get really annoying for.
Well, no, look, you know that when you're in this stand, if you miss someone, flag down. If you miss something during the game, Sean, you're going to watch the highlights on YouTube later anyway, so it's not going to make no difference.
I know that.
At least pregame, let's have the big-ass flags. I'm a fan of big-ass flags. I'm a fan of fireworks, 4th of July. Make it every goal, every entrance of play. Make it like 4th of July. That's how I feel about it. I know.
Flags.com. There's a brand right there, bro. We're going to start one big-ass
flags. I mean, come on. Support the big-ass flags movement. Well, you put 6-7 big-ass flags, inner spotting. Look, I'm going to go back. I'm going to show it.
15.
Oh, wait, that's not the right tweet. Hang on. That's not the right tweet.
I know my local.
Show me the sort of flags we're talking about here. We're talking bed sheets on
my God, big ass flags, team awards, the BAFTAs. This writes itself, mate.
So imagine like, okay, maybe 12 to 13 intermittent little big ass flags waving. One's got a big old cock and ball. The other one's got Tottenham. One one's got TT die. Another one's got like N17. You know, you could do what you
How
want.
big are the flags? How big are the flags, my man?
I'm saying 8 by 8 feet.
Well, last season you
8 feet by 8 feet.
Last season you needed to cover up the whole of the south stand
and the pitch.
Yes.
Why can't we dangle flags from the corner of the roof as well, from the edges of the roof?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I know my local club weren't allowed to take theirs in for a while.
I mean, even if you look at like the highlights from the last season at White Hart Lane, everybody had some little flag, man. That was rocking. I mean, why don't we do that anymore?
During the Turkish games, you know, Galatasaray and the Fenerbahce, teams like that, they'll have a bloke come out into the middle of the pitch and he's like waving a big ass flag and he's got a microphone and he's geeing up the crowd, get them going with a really intimidating chants, get the hostile atmosphere going. I'd love to see that, Spurs.
This is the smallest flag I'll accept. A man-sized flag. That's the smallest. That's not big ass flag though.
Not even a man-sized flag. It's actually half a man. That's a man-sized pole. It's not a man-sized flag, is it?
All right, so you get about 13 of those, and then 7 big ass flags.
Wait, $50? $50 for an American flag?
But this is a veteran has blessed it with holy water, so
And
it's a little bit more expensive.
Changes things.
And it's probably been on the moon.
That's great way to make money, especially because America burns more American flags than any other country does.
It's true. If it touches America, you have to burn it.
Especially when you're on the coasts. If you're on the east and the west coast, internally it's absolutely fine. They're celebrated, but on the coast it's a little bit more aggressive.
Just whenever a flag gets old or warm, they always burn it. It's I don't know why. There's a reason for it.
Jaco knows.
There's even an 1882 club where they pay more through the middle of the south stand. All right, I'm very high up on the east, right next to the south stand in that corner, right? But I don't mind. I mean, I sing anyway, right? I'll always sing, but
sing for us now, Adrian.
Yes, there's some way. There's got to be a way where you can guarantee the south stand. I know it might deprive people of their rights to be in the south stand, to guarantee that it is a singing section. You know, I mean, there's got to be some way of doing it. I don't know if you do it.
The North Stand. There was a movement in the North Stand that emerged at the end of last year, where they said we want to like put everybody together for next season, who wants to be a part of the North Stand noise, because it's a family stand generally. The North Stand is pretty.
What are the rules on someone jumping from the Golden Cockerel down to the field in a parachute, singing like some kind of heavy metal or something? What are we thinking about that? What are the regulations like in the UK? Are you allowed to? Has anyone jumped down? I know they did like the.
They abseil off the back of the stand. There's an abseil disc. You can abseil down the back of the south stand at the fan zone, but not on the pitch side. They would never allow that, health and safety.
Because I remember there's a very classic halftime show here in America they did at the old Cowboys Stadium, and it was Creed. And they're singing, "Can you take me high?" And as they're singing that song, there's a dude on ribbons, and he's flying through the stadium on ribbons, like curtains, and he's swinging. Look it up. Dallas Cowboys Creed Thanksgiving show. It's absolutely epic. I'm thinking we bring some flair like that to kick off. I don't know, y'all. We might be onto something.
I'm thinking a few years back on the Eurovision, Lordi won it, and they did what? God bless rock and roll.
Hoover, you've just confessed you've watched Eurovision.
Yeah. Open yourself up a can of baked beans there, mate.
That's a family event, mate. It's tradition from the wife's family up north. They'd always get plastered watch Eurovision. It's sort of caught on. So, but anyway, Lordi were on it. And they did that. They were dressed as demons, and then the lead singer's wings opened up. That would look great if he was descending from the cock and ball.
I'd like to see everybody. Where is this going? I imagine if one by one there was like a little football, like a giant football on the centre circle, and they introduced the players like they do in American football, one at a time, but they get shot out of like the giant football in like a trampoline.
Ooh.
Well, the players do.
the players. Yeah.
What
Guarantee they wouldn't
What
be on
about-
target.
No, you get a lot more injuries that way, but
Big
even
up,
the playing field for certain people.
What about if you could? Now I know a lot of the guys in Dorset Spurs that come up for every game. They don't. A majority of them come up for each game. Obviously, some of them have to miss some of the games. But what if you could put? See, I don't know how many supporters groups come at every home game.
Somerset Spurs do.
It's a prerequisite. I'd say like put the supporters groups in the South Stand because they're out for a jolly up. When they come to Spurs, they're on a day out. So they're probably on the lash first thing in the morning anyway. At 6 in the morning, they leave at Dorset at 5 and they come up.
Sounds like fun. I feel like driving down to Dorset just to get on their coach.
Oh, it's marvellous, Sean. It is absolutely marvellous. I've been once with South Dorset Spurs, and you're on
South Dorset. Is there other areas of Dorset represented?
Yeah, we're massive.
Lee and Jason and all them. I know all of them. Like, great bunch.
I'll do you a bacon sandwich if you want to come down here first, Shawnee.
I listen. To be honest, like I don't know if you guys have ever had the luxury of traveling first class before. I haven't, right? But I'd love to. I feel like I'd love it so much that if someone said to me, Sean, do you want to get on a first class flight and then just fly to somewhere and then not get off the plane and then just fly back again? I'm pretty sure I would take the opportunity. Just because it'd be such a brilliant experience that I don't even need to go somewhere for it to be worthwhile. Just to be on the plane would be part of the fun. And I feel like going all the way down to Dorset just to get on the coach to come back to Tottenham would be, especially if Cooper's making me a bacon sandwich. I feel like that's something that I want to experience.
It'll be like that thick, mate.
Come to Taunton, Sean.
How much of it is bread? How much of it is bacon?
Come to Taunton, Sean. It's exactly the same. Taunton is exactly the same on the Somerset Spurs bus. As soon as you get on there, get the beers out.
Yeah, Krakow. I was invited once to go from Ben and Sim from We Are Tottenham TV. They said, "Do you want to go to the Liverpool away game?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd like that." And then I'd have to get to their like wherever the bus picked them up from, super North London, right? And then you have to get on the bus on the coach and go up together. And they said the first rule of going away on the coach, no cameras. And I was like, "What do you mean?" So you can't get your camera out. You can't say I'm on the bus. I was like, "Why?" And they were like, "You'll find out when you get on the coach." And I was like, "I know what's going to happen. It sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. It sounds amazing." But unfortunately, the problem was whatever happens on the coach, I've then got, when I get off the coach on the way back, I've then got to find my own way back to home, down to South London, which I'm sure I wouldn't be able to drive. So I had to miss it. But I do want to go on one of those.
That sounds like a lot of fun. What happens on the coach stays on the coach.
Yeah. I've been on many of them.
Real quick, I do want to plug. Go ahead and hit that like and participate in the poll. I see 58 votes. 58 people want to party, but only 31 want to bring beer to the party. What's that all about? But the poll today is how are you feeling going into tomorrow's match? 47% says confident in Ange to get the win. So almost half of us are feeling the vibes like we're going to get it done. Scott M in the house. I tried to make one a little Scott Emmy, but I guess I didn't make it enough Scott Emmy. But you know what, Scott? I like that you chimed in here. Big up, Scott, YouTube member, longtime supporter of the channel, says, "Good afternoon, Jacob. As far as the poll, no way we get a win. Wouldn't say draw is the best we could hope for either. Hoping to keep it to a 2-goal difference at best."
I don't agree with that.
Wait, sorry, explain that again.
So
no way we get a win, but we wouldn't say that a draw is the best we can hope for. How's that work?
Yeah, so Sean, in the poll, what I did was there's the questions, how are we feeling? And one of the answers says, no way we win / draw at best. And I was like, that seems like Scott enough, but not enough Scott. That's the key. It wasn't enough Scotty M sprinkled on it, because he's saying in that answer, that was like the worst result for Spurs out of the 4 answers. And he said a draw at best is not even possible. We should hope for at least to not lose by more than 2. Saying that's the best we can hope for.
Is Scott finally adopting his uber negative mantle and just going, "Yeah, I'm just gonna."
Well, in the poll, I always do like I'm super pumped no matter what, and then I do a like moderately rational, and then I do one for fun, and then the other one I always try and incorporate. You know, I want to incorporate all sides of the angles here, and Scott has no hope that we can get done, so I always want to have a Scott M answer that I feel like Scott M will pick. And he's saying that the one that I chose, this is an ongoing thing I do with Scott. So he said the one that I chose is not enough. It's not It wasn't Scott M enough, is the way I understand it. Big up. We got Josh from Speaking Spurs popping in with us as well. Big up. Welcome in again to Pop Up with Jacob. Please do hit that like. It's absolutely free. Participate in the poll. Lets us know where you stand. But big up, Scott. Always appreciate. I always appreciate your input, regardless if I agree with it or not. Big up Side Dancer as well. It says big up Jacob and Coys. Let me ask. There was something I wanted to pull up from JC. Says big up, bro. Good luck for tomorrow. Mount 008. You know the ongoing joke of 0 goals, 0 assists, and 7 appearances. The 007 is what they call players, in the sense that they try and say that they're flopping. I want to ask, and I feel like it's going to be.
Richarlison was 0034. Is that right?
No, he scored in his. How many until we played Marseille and he got that brace? How many matches was it?
0021. He must have been something around
0016, I think. It was like 0018 or 6, something like that. It wasn't too many matches, I think, before he broke the seal.
It was quite a long time, to be honest. It was
I don't agree with Scott M. I think it'd be a totally different game to the Brentford game. It won't be a low block. We all admit that our front three didn't fire at all against Brentford. That's fair enough. And I understand why Kula was playing in a 9 spot, because in a low block, you need someone with physicality up there. And I think that, Richarlison gives you that physicality in a away game like that, whereas Son would have just got snuffled out completely. Not that Richarlison didn't. What I'd like to see tomorrow, I mean, it's going to be the same team. But if you've got Richarlison on the left and Son through the middle, because we got more space, Richarlison and his work effort, if we do get a bit pressed by Man United, he can help Udogie defensively. Therefore, because Son isn't very good defensively anyway, and he's lightweight and he get brushed off the ball. So I'm not against the front three. I think he's not going to destroy their confidence. They got a result. It's a good point at Brentford, to be honest. So even though the front three were not very good, to be kind. And so I think, or they might interchange. I think Kulu still plays as well. And I just think if he's on the left for Richarlison, I think that gives us a much better chance of winning that game. What do you guys think?
I just think either way, the best option is to have Son through the middle. You can't have Richie there. Richie was absent. He was none and voided that whole game against Brentford. But again, we need to see 2 changes in that front three. And
he's going to be in the middle, Josh.
100%.
I think the only way you can include all 3 of them and make it work. I don't think you should include all 3 of them, but you're going to include. You have to include Decky, because Decky has the ability to win the ball back in offensive duels, which is super important. 8 from 8 in the Brentford game. If he didn't win those duels back, Tottenham face 8 more counter-attacks, which are going to get punished against Manchester United. So you have to have Decky, but Decky didn't do anything on the ball. Sonny completely useless on the left-hand side because he does the same thing and becomes predictable. Against a team that sets up with inverted fullbacks like United do, no chance. It'd be super easy for Lisandro Martinez, super easy for Rafael Varane. All they've got to worry about is Richarlison. No problem at all, because Wan-Bissaka will eat Sonny on toast, as will Luke Shaw against Decky if they invert. The only way, if you're going to play those 3, the only way it works for me is if you invert Decky and Sonny. But let Sonny play on the right and go down and let him take on the player, and let Decky go on the left. I know Decky hasn't played on the left, but for me, I think it's the only way that you really get to be able to allow the ball to get to the byline, allow the space for Maddison and whoever's playing in the second 8 to occupy those areas around the back of the box. But also, if you do break Wan-Bissaka and you do break Luke Shaw, whip the ball in, and you've got Richarlison there who can actually head the ball in. Because if you put Sonny in the 9, he can't head anyway, so it's irrelevant.
Well, it's interesting you say that, and I'd like to go around and read the room here for a second on as far as any changes to. I'm asking everyone the same question, so I'm just going to go around the panel. I'll start with Kate, ladies first. I'm going to be a gentleman tonight, so big up Kate for that. I want to ask, starting 11. Do you think, not what you want, but do you think Ange Postecoglou will change anything? And if so, what?
I only think there'll be one change, and I think Sarr will come in for Skip. I think everything else will stay exactly the same. Not necessarily what I want, but that is what I think. I don't think there'll be any other changes except that. I hope that is that as well. I hope Skippy doesn't start. Excuse me. But I think he will bring Sarr in.
Yeah. Skuva? What about you? If you're Ange Postecoglou, do you think he's changing anything?
I think he might start with the same lineup because I think he'll be challenging them to find a way to actually break this kind of defensive block if it happens. But it's different kettle of fish against United anyway. He's this season he's going to be evaluating his players. You can only do that by playing them, give them a bit of a run. So I think we might see a similar lineup for a few games, and then he'll make up his mind then what needs changing. But it's what substitutes are for, isn't it? If it's not working, let's bring them on early.
Yeah, maybe a little earlier than the 75th minute, which 75th minute is still earlier than when Conte would have made any changes to whatever was going on. So it's interesting to see. Mark, same question for you. Do you think Ange Postecoglou is changing anything in the starting 11?
Nah. As much as I want him to, I don't think he's going to be honest. Like, you know, I mean, I don't want Sonny to play. I don't want Richie to play. Well, I'd sooner Sonny went down the middle if he's got to play. But I don't think he's going to do it because it's sort of, I'm not sure the right word, it sort of devalues Richie because he is supposedly a striker.
Yeah.
You know
And it not only devalue him, I would say demotivate him going forward.
Yeah, well, that's the word I meant.
So after one match, if you're saying, yeah, you're not working, then I
Yeah.
think he would then hang his head. And
Yeah.
Richarlison strikes me as one of those guys you have to put your arm around, say you're doing so good, tickle, tickle, he, and then he'll feel better. So
Yeah.
I'm perfect. I think Ange is the kind of guy who can make you feel good, and whenever you're down about something, he'll put his arm around you and make you feel good. At least it make me feel good if he put his arm around me. But Sean, what do you think? Ange Postecoglou, is he changing anything? If so, what?
I agree with Kate. I think he should. I think they should learn a lesson from what happened against Brentford. I think that Ollie Skip can't get back. He's not fast enough. Emerson Royale's not fast enough. You're going to get absolutely torn apart down that left-hand side, whether it's Rashford that's doing it or whether it's Garnacho that's doing it. Doesn't really matter. Even Luke Shaw probably can outpace Emerson Royale on the overlap. So as much as, and that's a really sad indictment of our right-sided centre back, right-sided defensive issues. So I think you need someone who's got more legs. If you're going to do the same situation, if you're going to set it up the same way and play one of them as an inverted fullback and make them play as a double six, then you need to have someone out there who can cover. And Ollie Skip couldn't do it. Ollie Skip was out of his depth against Brentford. He's going to be out of his depth. I like Ollie Skip. I think he's right in the right situation, but I don't think he is tomorrow. I think you need to bring in Pape Sarr. If you want to go balls to the walls and dominate possession and try and suffocate United that way and trying to get to like 75, 80%, then there's some random argument where you could do something crazy with Lo Celso as well. But if you're going to bring in Lo Celso, you have to change things up at the top end.
It's funny you bring that up because on your show the other night when I was on with you and Henry and Sava, Henry alluded to potentially putting Giovanni Lo Celso in Oliver Skip's role and letting him and playing forward with Maddison and Giovanni Lo Celso.
I don't agree with it.
I think that'd be a step in a different direction than we're looking like we're going. I'm not against. Again, at the end of the day, I feel like whatever Ange does, I'm going to try and trust, because if I'm going to sit here and say it right, and Ange I trust, then obviously I got to stand by the decisions he makes. So I don't think it would happen, but it is an interesting conversation.
I don't agree with. I don't think it will happen. I don't agree with it if it does. But listen, I like you say, mate, I do trust Ange. He knows ball 10x to the power of 10 than I do. So I'll trust him whatever he wants to do. But for me, I think that the most logical thing is you're just going to see same as just maybe Skippy for Sarr and then go again. If you are going to, I would like to see against United, just because of the situation, I would like to see Sonny play on the right. And you could even then, you know what? You can't avoid. You need Decky in the team. I'm sorry. Even if he plays bad with the ball, you need him. You need him on there because of his ability to win the ball back. As much as I'd like to, we're not going to drop Sonny because Sonny's the captain. And that's one of the reasons why I don't agree with Sonny being captain. It makes him basically undroppable for the time.
But I think that's what those vice captains are there for. Almost a supplemental role. I think like a security blanket a little bit if Son is struggling. Like we saw in the first week, he wasn't playing well. The captain got subbed off at 75 minutes. So
yeah, but he should have been subbed off at like 50 minutes. You could make the argument. I just think that tomorrow you need someone who's going to drive at Luke Shaw and or Wan-Bissaka. The only way you're going to get past them is if you drive at them. And so if you're going to keep Sonny on the pitch, then you should put him on the right because he's therefore right-footed. He's more likely to go down the byline. Decky also is left-footed, so he's more likely to go down the byline. You need people that are going to go down the byline against Wan-Bissaka. If the two wide forwards just cut inside all day long like they always do, Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw are just going to go, thank you very much. As is Martinez, as is Varane, or whoever they play in the middle two. All they then got they've got 4 people then that are just going to sit there and the ball's going to be you're never going to break them down. The only way, Manol Solomon's interesting, but who's he going to come in for? He's not going to come in for Son because Son's the captain. He shouldn't come in for Decky because Decky is the only guy that can win the ball back. So
it's interesting. Adrian, where do you
tell me what to do? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think he's going to stick with it personally. But Adrian, go ahead.
There'll be more space tomorrow. And the problem last year when Decky dropped off form or someone dropped off form on the wing, under the negative way we were playing, when your wide player like Decky was cutting in and probably weren't doing it well, there was no one in the box. So they weren't going to stay wide out on the wing. They're going to try and cut in and find a player that's at close range with feeder Kane or someone like in the box, right? Under Ange's system now, if the midfielders get forward, there's more options. Emerson scored a goal, right? Which sort of proves the point. I still want Richie on the left with Udogie as a double 2. They could really block that left-hand side up and attack. The right-hand side is Schultzen's a problem when Emerson was tucking in because it wasn't 2 inverted fullbacks, was it? Because Udogie was doing his normal thing, just bombing up and down, and Emerson was just cutting in a bit, and he managed to get a goal out of it, But if we've got a weakness, if Richarlison don't play on the left, then that would cause me more concern. We could still win the game because I think we'll dominate midfield anyway. But then we're going to have to take the chances when they come along, aren't we? So, Skip, you like Skip for his energy and what he brings. And I thought Skip dropped a little bit off after he got booking. And it's not the first time he's dropped his pace has dropped once he's been booked and he's been a bit more cautious, So he sees something in Skip. Skip's are useful. Do you play Højbjerg instead? In this game, he would be a bit more solid in the tackle.
I don't mind that, but he's not fast enough. He's not mobile enough against United for me.
Skips quicker. And
that's
why
I still think Sarr is the best.
That's why you play Sarr.
The last time we played. I go back to Odlar, Doolers and Villa. It worked then. We didn't have anyone in midfield who could win the ball or anything like that. But we never gave the ball away, so it didn't make no difference, right? We rarely gave the ball away. Now, I like our midfield. It'll be even better when Bentancur's back and you've got him with Basuma and Maddison, right? That sounds awesome, doesn't it? But we're going to have to wait for that. So, he cannot destroy players' confidence by changing the team after getting a good result at Brentford. We should have won it, but it's still a good result. And the fact that we're moaning we didn't win it, this is plus. That's a positive, right? So I want to see Son through the middle because he can't defend. And like you say, Decky, it's not just the fact that he's good at winning the ball back. His hold-up play is good. It is when he's got the ball, he is hard to get the ball off. So there's that as well. All right, he is out of touch, but so the whole front three. But it's the first game of the season, so
one of them has to score tomorrow.
Yeah, I think all three need to put a goal contribution in personally.
If we win the game 2-1, and the goals come from Basuma and Emerson or Udogie and whatever, right? Question marks have to be asked. You need your front three to create, and like the Harry Kane absence, people need to step up. Richarlison needs to step up. Sonny needs to be less predictable. Decky needs to be so much less predictable. Decky and Sonny do the same thing every time. Like I say, I'm not going to undermine Decky's contribution because without Decky last time out, we conceded 8 more chances against us. So, there's more to a strike. There's more to a forwards game than just creativity right now. That's the system. But
Decky has got a wand of a left foot, and people say he's very one-footed, and he is. Even when he goes down to the byline, he still uses his left foot all the time. But the point is, you've still got to stop him. And if he's got more options than he had last year in the centre when the midfielders break or when the inverted fullback gets around the edge of the penalty area, then he's going to have more options to pass that ball off. He didn't have it last year. How many times do you see with teams playing now that the wingers get down the wing and there's no one in the box, or there's one striker and they're surrounded by 4 defenders? It's all too common, isn't it?
The problem for me though, Adrian, is I'm sorry, I'm going to shut up after this point and let everyone else get involved. Sorry, I've had a drink, so I'm probably talking too much.
Again?
But I feel like down the left-hand side, down the right-hand side, you're asking Emerson Royale to play inverted, right? So he's tucking in, he's being the additional 6, right? It's important. Basuma would never have had the game that he had against Brentford had it not been for Emerson sitting there holding his hand a little bit in that inverted area. So I don't expect the same problem down the right. Decky needs to be a little bit less predictable, but for different reasons than Sonny. Sonny, if you've got a guy in Destiny Udogie who's supposed to contribute going forward, he's supposed to have those legs, but he's playing also an inverted fullback system, then Sonny needs to have the confidence to go down the byline, because the role of Udogie is to get in, is to cut in, to be there. 1-2 triangles. And Sonny just doesn't want to do it. Sonny does this thing, like I said it before, he looks like Fred Flintstone when he's going bowling. You know, like lots of skip, and doesn't just jumps on the spot 3 times, and then ends up just passing it or doing nothing. Like it's
I kind of said I'd like to see Son move more into the middle, maybe get more touches in the box. He had 1 touch in the box that I can even remember from Brentford. And if you look at his heat map, he's just hanging out at that right there at the top of that box, that corner, just hanging out, waiting to. And to me, I think it's one of those things. Once the car's rolling, it's a little bit easier for that automobile to keep up that style and that way that it's running. So I hope once.
Jacob, it won't
get a
be a
little
low
bit more
block
running,
tomorrow,
I think.
will it? It won't be a low block with Man United, so there will be space.
There will. That's the thing is I want to see him.
I think it will be a low block, by the way. If Eric Ten Hag has any intelligence, and I know he's a very smart guy, he's got Postecoglou's not going to change his system. Ten Hag should do the counter attack. He should sit there and embed in and then counter against us. If he doesn't, if he goes toe-to-toe on possession away from home, especially with the midfield that was present against Wolves, I think Tottenham will dominate. I think.
Well, let me pose you this then, Sean. What if Eric Ten Hag is looking at this is my time to prove my philosophy and my style to my fans and my players, and it looked like that's what they were kind of doing, just kept trying to pound it against Wolves. And I think that this is my assumption that Ten Hag is still going to see this as a chance to. I've had all offseason. I've had financial backing. So now,
listen. If he does it, if he continues with his like Swedish nightclub midfield, right, where he's got like too many 10s, and then he sits there and allows Casemiro to take all the heat, it's madness, absolute madness. Okay, especially if he does the high line as well. He's going to be in all sorts of problems against Tottenham away from home at Tottenham. The crowd will be up for it. Everyone's going to be, that suits Tottenham. It suits Postecoglou to do it that way. It suits Richarlison. It suits Sonny. It suits Decky. What Ten Hag should do is say, all right, we're away from home. Man United fans aren't going to be, treating it the same as the Wolves game. Sit in, sit deep, and then just break them down, counter, and let Rashford and Garnacho and Anthony eat up our relatively slow, our right-hand side. Down the left, Van de Ven and Udogie, I think that Man United we can match them. Down our right, their left, Garnacho and Rashford. Over Romero, who's not very fast. Emerson, who's slow as a simpleton. I mean, I just think that, and then if you've got someone sat in front of them like a Skippy or a Højbjerg or whoever, that's where to me, Man United's game plan is pretty simple.
I agree with Sean there. I think if I was managing Man United, sit back, soak up the pressure. They've got some serious pace in that front line. They can really hit things on the break, and we are wide open for that. We play such a high risk reward game that there's going to be goals. There's just going to be goals in there. Yeah. Anyway, better let Josh.
Yeah, Josh, I was waiting for you to come back on cam so I could ask you the same question I asked everyone. You've had plenty of time, ample opportunity to think about it. It is quiz time now. What are you doing? What do you think Ange is doing? Not you. What do you think Ange is doing?
I'm surprised no one else has said it, and there's only one person in the chat that said it, and that's Dragon D's Nuts. Great name, by the way.
Great name.
Let's not forget, Kulusevski is a naturally left-footed player, but he can play with both feet. So put Kulu on the right and bring Solomon. Put Kulu on the left and bring Solomon in on the right.
So you're benching Son.
No. I'm putting Son through the middle.
So you're benching Richarlison.
Yes.
So you're telling Richarlison after 90 minutes of ball, you are not the solution in our striking position.
Never was.
This is a guy that you got to imagine. I'm playing a little devil's advocate here because I want Richarlison to prove everybody wrong. I feel like the opponents are all looking at him laughing. He's got Mikel Antonio and Callum Who the hell are you Wilson talking about him on podcasts, laughing about this. They don't know the geezer, and they're over here telling him what he feels and what he thinks. And so I'm seeing it from a perspective of, this is Richarlison's fucking chance, not the time to bench him. You're waiting to see if NASA's project has worked and this rocket can take off. You don't sit there and say, okay, well, let's give the astronauts a day off. No, let's see if this motherfucker worked. If not, then I think 3 games is a good enough time to say this front three is either working or it's not working. But Josh, I do want to.
He's not a centre forward though, Jacob. He's a right winger. Yeah, in which case, put him in on the right. But I just feel as if Solomon's a better option. Yeah, Richarlison is not a centre forward. For Everton, he played as a right winger. Occasionally
plays a left winger. Plays a left winger.
Plays left winger. Okay, he played on the wing. He did not play down the middle. You can't have your cake and eat it. You either put Son on the left or you put Son in the middle. You can't put Richarlison in there.
It's a valid point, Josh. But my argument of that would be when we've got free kicks, corners, set plays, you'd want Richarlison in the box. You'd want his physical presence in the box. Son don't give you no physical presence. Richarlison does.
He's scared of heading the ball. Sonny's scared of heading the ball.
So like you need, I think, for set pieces. All right, we know Romero scored, right, and maybe Van der Ven will come up. We need him to come up, but then who do you leave back? Who do you leave with pace back if you send Van der Ven forward?
But then the question lies, like he had plenty of opportunities to get involved against Brentford. He didn't do that. Do you take the risk and play him in a much bigger game against a much tougher opponent than Man United? I don't take that risk. I think you play Solomon on the right.
I don't think they're a tougher opponent. They might on paper have better players. I don't think they're a tough opponent. Not this early.
I think Brentford are very underestimated. They're very good at home, great home record, tough to play against, incredibly frustrating, and they do take points off the big boys that we've seen last season. I think that 2-2 is actually a pretty decent result for us.
It's a decent result on paper.
It could have been 3-2 against us.
It was a frustrating second half, wasn't it?
We smashed them. We smashed them on the day.
10 games into the season, we might be eulogising over Man United, but not now. Get them now.
My question is, a lot of JC's just said it in there. If you bench your main striker in the first game, what's to say Richarlison is the answer? What is to say that he is our main striker? Because if he was our main striker, we wouldn't be kind of looking for someone else. Right? It's very evident that we're looking for another striker in this transfer window, which is why we've got him for a gift, Orban. And there are plenty of other names on that list as well. If he is the main striker, then why are we going in for other strikers and not building around him?
Well, no, the same reason why.
Is not the answer.
Hold up. We're looking for forwards. We're looking for forwards. Gift Orban is not a 9 necessarily.
He can play ball. He can play up front all three.
Left, right, stand. He can play in the false 9. He can play in the 10. Gift Orban is a little bit like Mohamed Kudus, a little bit like Molo Kwani. Like he's got variety and versatility in him. But we Tottenham need someone because you've also got Brian Hill who's out as well, right? So, for what it's worth, Josh, mate, on sentiment, I would 100% agree with you. I was never on board with Richarlison. I've hated him since the moment we were linked with him. I've hated him long ago, but I hated the idea of him coming to Tottenham way back as soon as we were rumoured. And I thought that, Kuba will remember the thus far conversation, right? I said if we I thought that at the time the window was a 6.5, 7. If we sign Richarlison, it becomes a 4.5, 5. You remember that, Kuv, right?
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense. I still don't. I think I've been vindicated on that one. I agree with you, Josh, but at the same time, he is our only recognised technical number 9 at the moment. And I think I agree with.
It was make or break for him this season, though. It is make or break.
And it will be break.
Absolutely.
And it will be break, by the way, Adrian. I think we all know it. I think we all deep down know he's
He gets a brace tomorrow, or what are we talking about?
In the next 5 games, he needs at least 3 goals.
If he let's not look at the next 5 games. Let's look at what we got in front of us. That's tomorrow. Richarlison goes out there, bags a brace. What's everyone talking to me nicely about tomorrow? That's what I want to know.
Nothing changes. It's well done. You're now on
Harry Kane just scored, by the way.
You're now on 3 goals in 3 Premier League goals in 30 appearances. Congratulations. You are still a 1 in 10 guy. Not good enough.
Harry Kane just scored, and he looks very happy, and it's upsetting me
goals
emotionally.
would you expect from Sean? Because
he's not a Spurs player anymore. Move on from him.
Apart from
don't tell me how to feel, Josh. How about that?
Apart from Haaland, right? Who's a freak, right? Most average number 9s are only scoring about 10, 12 goals a season. I mean, someone won Golden Boot with 15, didn't he?
How many goals? By the way, Harry Kane's goal was going wide before it was deflected in.
Allegedly.
If that's not taken away from him, that's going wide. If that's not taken away from him as known goal, then there's no justice in this world.
No, that's skill, isn't it? You just do the bare minimum to get the ball.
Hey, Mickey Van de Veen wasn't ruled an own goal, by the way. They gave the goal to Visa, so you know what? He still don't have an own goal to his name, and I've seen people on their shows saying, outside of the own goal, Van de Veen was good. It wasn't an own goal. Let's set the record straight. That's not going to be an own goal. Harry Kane's got a goal and an assist on his Bundesliga debut. Congratulations to the man. Interesting he did that as we're talking about Richarlison.
The ball in the Bundesliga, I don't know if you've seen it, but it doesn't play like footballs we've known before. He's acting like a floater. Like the rubber balls that are just filled with air, they're just floating any direction they want. The commentators mentioned it on the game as well in the first half. Those balls are dodgy.
Dodgy balls. Just like me.
I don't watch that Farmers League.
Well, we're heading in that direction, man. City, if they win, how many? 3 in a row?
No. It's not the same thing.
Everyone says they're going to win this year. Everyone says they're going to.
Even if they do, it's not a farmers league because one team is better than everyone else. It's a farmers league because of the quality of the average opposition within the league. You could take
from that lens. I agree with you.
You could take anybody from the top 10 of the Premier League. Anybody, including Brentford or Tottenham or Man United or Brighton,
Fulham with Adama Traore. I'll put them up against anyone.
Put them into the Bundesliga, and they would finish 2nd or 1st.
I would love to see full. I do that in FIFA all the time. Just shuffle teams around and see what they do. It's interesting. It is interesting for sure. The Mark, I haven't heard you speak in a little bit, so I'm going to ask you about Richarlison. I did a show yesterday talking about different options at that, and then we were linked. Apparently, we're interested in another guy who played for some Denmark team, but occupies a lot of the same areas as a Gift Orban does. I can't remember his name. It's like I think Elijah or Alfred or something. I don't even remember. Some with an E. But do you think Richarlison could be that guy for us?
Well, I said when we bought Richie, I said he was Harry's replacement.
That was the idea, I thought, too, at the time.
I said that right from the beginning because there was no way Harry was hanging about, not with a certain person in charge of the club. So I hope he can, but he doesn't look like he can, to be honest. I mean, gone are the days when we had 4 strikers all battling out for 2 spots. Defoe, Crouch, whoever was with him. We used to have loads, but not no more. Seems like we got one, and hopefully maybe another one.
We got one, and hopefully maybe another one.
Well, have we got one? Is he?
That's the question. That's the
question.
He
claims he's a striker. He claims he's a striker.
He sat down. He's Brazil's number 9. He is R9 for Brazil.
Yes. But
that's a little pru in his corner, though.
He's not the R9.
But he got net game. You know what I mean? He got that net work. Kate, what do you think? Is Richarlison the guy? Can he be the guy? If he bags a brace on Saturday, are you shaking your head opposite direction? Or are you saying it's all for naught because he can't do it, even though he bagged a brace?
I'm saying he can't do it, Jacob. I'm saying he cannot do it.
So you're putting him in a box. Just want to get it for the record, Kate. You're putting him in a box and you're limiting what this man can do? Yes, that's what we're saying?
I'm putting him in a box and I'm actually putting him in the cupboard and shutting him away. And he's up for sale in my cupboard because for me, he's nowhere near good enough. Never rated him at Everton. Never. Just baffled. I said on my show today, I don't think as long as I live, I'll ever understand why we paid 60 million for this guy. I am absolutely baffled.
I had a theory last year. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had a theory last year. I just want to throw it. You know, I like my conspiracies, Kate. I just want to throw this out there. Before a World Cup, what do you do to tap into a market that may be a dying market in your Brazil is a dying market? I think he hinged on maybe Lucas Moura being that pull for Brazil. But you know what? You go out, you get Brazil's number 9 before the World Cup. Now people are watching Tottenham a little. There's more Brazilian eyes on Tottenham now because of it. Think about even though he didn't win in the World Cup, just hitting the bicycle scissor kick, whatever you want to call it, just hitting that alone has made Richarlison like a TikTok cult hero to the kids of Brazil. So there's a lot of more new, fresh eyes on Tottenham as a whole. Could it be that maybe it's not necessarily what he can do on the pitch, but maybe what he can bring to the club outside of the pitch that we're looking at? Could that be why we dropped the big bag on him?
You've triggered me now. You've actually triggered me. The rant is coming.
Here it goes.
The rant is coming, right?
Let's hear it.
I am sick to death of being PR Hotspur, right? Yeah. If that's true, we bought in R9 from Brazil and he's crap, right? Just for the PR. We've made Sonny, who couldn't inspire someone to break an egg, captain for the PR. Sonny shouldn't even be playing. I mean, for me...
So you're saying the club chose the captain and not Ange Postecoglou? Just want to get that for the record as well.
I'm saying the club chose the captain, 100%, yeah, 100% they chose the captain for the PR side of it. Ange would have been told. For me, Sonny... I love Sonny. Everyone thinks I don't like him. I love him. He does not suit Ange's system in any way for me. He is a counter-attacking player. He does not suit the system. And to make him captain, like Sean said, makes him undroppable. And if he wasn't captain, he would not be on that team sheet. I don't care what anyone says. He's not playing good enough. So you've got Richie and Sonny up front. If I was Man United, I'd be looking at that, rubbing my hands together. They're both short on confidence. They both look like they couldn't score in a brothel. It's just, I'm literally sick of Levy making these decisions to sell more shirts or become bigger in Korea or become bigger in Brazil, whatever.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that Levy picked the captain. I don't believe that the club picked the captain. I don't believe that for a second. I think Ange, looking at it from an outside perspective, you come into that locker room and Harry Kane's gone. You say, who's put it on the line the most for the Spurs? Who's bleeds Tottenham through and through? Josh, I see you have a point. Go ahead and interject at any moment.
Okay, so you're saying who's given more for the shot? Okay, so apart from when Harry Kane's left the club, who also brings the most money in for the club? That is Sonny, right? All of Korea.
That has nothing to do with the captain being so.
Listen, the only way Tottenham benefit from Son being captain is in revenue and revenue alone. He's
Disagree.
not the ideal. No, he's not the ideal captain. The ideal captain would have been someone like Madison. However,
obviously, you're wrong. Obviously, you're wrong. Obviously, all y'all are wrong. That's how I'm gonna say it. It's obvious y'all are just wrong. Saying he don't have leadership qualities. Saying this, that. Y'all are in the mud, and it's okay. You're trying to get back up again, like the Chumbawamba song.
How am I in the mud?
Saying he's not a leader. All the shit you talk about, Sonny not being a leader, being this and that, and the club picking a captain. Come on now. Let's put the reality glasses on. Levy did not say, Ange, you have to appoint Son because he's going to sell shirts. That is bullshit, Josh.
Guys,
can I finish my point?
What do you expect of a modern day captain, right? Because basically they're irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. Back in, go back decades. If you had a Roy Keane or someone like that, made a difference. You could tackle, you could get some set the tone of a game, a pattern of game by the first few tackles. You want to try it on with us, you're Sheffield United, you're a physical side, you're going to get it back. You could send out subliminal messages to the opposing team. Nowadays, it's purely PR. A captain's not going to make Eric Dyer stop making mistakes. And when Spurs fans turn around, I've heard the biggest load of bollocks going is when people turn around and say, Spurs fans lost, not enough leaders in the team. That was just desperation because we were playing crap
in the mud,
conceding goals, right? Absolute crap. You don't really need a captain. Besides that, these guys are paid £100,000 a week or under or whatever it is, right? If you need motivating to go out in that field, you shouldn't be in the club in the first place. The whole captain's role now, you're right. It is PR with Sonny. It is about shirts and career. That is right. And what he's done, he's been very clever. Psychologically, he's been very clever. He's got the guy that speaks Spanish, Romero, at the back. He's got Maddison, the English guy. So basically, it's all about unifying the squad. If players have got a problem, they can go and talk to the vice captain or the captain, and they can take an issue to the manager. On the field, to me, I'm old school, right? So forgive me, captains are irrelevant. And when people talk about captains, oh, he was a great captain, he's a great captain. What do all these great captains have in common? They were in winning sides that won fucking trophies, right? I mean, other than that, it's rubbish. You don't even need... I mean, it is a conversation, but I don't think it's a conversation that's strongly aligned to what happens on the football pitch. I think it's
I
more...
disagree. I think over recent years, there's been less prestige around the captain's armband simply because of who has been our captain, Hugo Lloris. You can't lead a team from the back. You cannot lead the team when you're the furthest away from everyone, which is why the captaincy sort of just went under the radar a little bit. For someone, the ideal captain for me, in my own personal opinion, is someone in the midfield that can.
Your
hold
incorrect
that whole team
opinion,
together.
but carry on.
My incorrect opinion. What?
It is incorrect because Ange picks Son. You had Spurs saying in the chat saying Levy medals everything, Levy picks everything. Hang on, Adrian. Let me get a second here. Okay, let me get a second here. Everyone's saying Son ain't got this, Son ain't do that. He leads his national team. He leads by example. He doesn't need to be what you think, whoever it may be. And I'm saying this to everybody. What you think is a leader doesn't necessarily constitute what everyone else back at Hotspur Way constitutes as a fucking leader. Okay, y'all sit here and say, based on the limited amount that y'all see of players, and you make assumptions and judgments about their qualities, what they can do.
Jacob.
What?
That's what we're all doing here. We give it but it's opinions, bro. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, I think you're getting too heated over opinions, man.
I'm not getting heated. I'm saying you're wrong, and I'm talking adamantly because I'm trying to speak over everyone who's talking over me. So that's why but I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong what everyone has done, and I think y'all are all going to be in the mud like you are right now. Like you were when Sonny got announced captain, like you were when Romero got announced vice captain. Everyone talking this and that. Y'all are in the mud.
Why are they in the mud? Because they have a different opinion to Ange. How's that a muddable offense? Because
you're saying that, not you, but I'm saying you're in the mud if you said Son doesn't have leadership qualities and Levy picks a captain. Because those are two blasphemous statements.
And what do you mean? So Levy's meddled with everything within the club. He's absolutely meddled with everything in the club, right? How do you make more money? Right.
I love this assumption. How many hours you spent inside the walls of Tottenham Hotspur?
Levy didn't make the captain. I agree with you on that one, but I don't think it's an egregious act.
I think he had a say in it.
Or you're muddable for having an opinion that thinks that Sonny wasn't the right call for captain. I think that it's okay as content creators or content contributors to have an opinion that either, in Adrian's case, the captain doesn't matter, or for anybody else who thinks that Sonny wasn't the right guy, because there's now circumstances where Sonny can't be dropped. Sonny can be subbed, but he can't be dropped.
I think he absolutely can be dropped, and I think he can be subbed. I think he can be all of the above. I think that having two vice captains solidifies that.
If Son's got responsibility put on him as captain, and also we know that he's been a streaky player overseas, and he scores goals in streaks, and then he might lose a bit of form, score goals in streaks, right? By giving him a captaincy, if he knows he's going to play and he's not being dropped, psychologically, part of the reason could be like to keep his confidence up, no matter what, knowing that, okay, if I'm a little bit out of form, I am the best goal scorer at the club at this present time, so I still keep my place. I get that. I think the captaincies and the vice captaincies were a very clever psychological play by Ange, and I don't believe Levy had anything to do with them whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't think Levy wouldn't dare influence that. I don't think
Levy would dare influence that. No.
I think the obvious one for me is there's similarities to what happened when Pochettino took over. First, leadership responsibility given on the pitch. Remember the players voted Yunus Kabul as their captain. I think that's what's happened here. Ange doesn't know these players. There's a new squad for him. So he's asked the players, who do they see as a captain? I think that's where Sonny got the vote, because he's really popular amongst the players. Where I think Ange is having the input is the vice captaincy, because I think he spots in the likes of Maddison and Romero those sort of qualities he wants in a leader. I'll disagree with Adrian when he say the captain's irrelevant. I would say that the caveat would be a weak captain is irrelevant. Somebody, we've had weak captains. You get a really strong leader in that team. Makes a massive difference.
I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. Sorry, Adrian, I disagree with you. I agree with Cougar.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and it's all good. But what does dictate a good captain? If it's popularity, like I've trained a lot of, and I've managed in various different continents around the world, sales teams. The most popular guy on the team should not be the team leader. Unless the most popular guy on the team also happens to hit the most sales, help the most people, and show professionalism at every ounce. Sometimes there's the joker of the pack who is like everyone's best mate. He's always cracking jokes. He's sharing the memes. He's getting everyone around his desk to show the funny YouTube videos. That guy ain't the guy that you want to be the captain of the sales team, because he doesn't demonstrate any of the things that are going to get the numbers done. And I just wonder whether or not Sonny is the smiley, laughy, lovely guy. I love Sonny to pieces. I want him to
again
do
the perception that we have as outsiders, right? I trust people inside those walls making these decisions for our club.
Okay.
That's just the way I see it. The proof is in the pudding as what has happened.
And the reason we're on.
See,
he
to
froze.
me,
Hang on.
so he's frozen before he comes back. It's when people were saying last year out of desperation, we need more leaders in the team. I was throwing back in one podcast before I got covered. I was saying, it weren't leaders we need, it's better quality, because I said we've got crap players. And if you've got good players like Man City, you can have a mouse speaking De Bruyne as your captain. It doesn't make no difference. You're going to win games.
Real quick, I want to say thank you very much to Jim, just a guy who loves Spurs, hitting us with the first super chat of the day. Says Ange picks Son, not Levy. Sonny bleeds Spurs. I agree with that. Josh, I'm gonna come to you in 1 second, but I slid Mia up into the show, and she's here, so I want to give her a chance to say. I think maybe it's something about the captaincy, or maybe she wants to tell us how she feels about United, or maybe she came here to tell me to chill out about Sonny.
Okay, nice. Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to agree with you, Jacob, in the fact that I'm somebody who said that maybe Sonny wasn't for me as captain. However, if we're all sitting here, no, you can be quiet, Mr. Flip Flop, king of the flip flops, and always in the mud.
Flip flop.
But what I will always say is, I've always said I trust Ange. Now, if all of us are going to go into this saying that we trust Ange's decision, then I can't understand why anybody would be against it when we've got to say we've got to have in faith what Ange does and what he says, right? So if he's coming out and saying he wants them as captain and vice captains, so be it, man. Like, I feel like we shouldn't go against that and try and shut up, donut.
I agree with you, Mia, and that's what I guess why I feel so passionately about it, because I feel like us as outsiders, let's call it what it is. Us as outsiders, we say this is our perception of a player, therefore he has X, Y, and Z and fits into this box here. And I don't think that's fair to do as a fan or even as someone on the outside. But just to say like, oh, because of past events, now that leads me to believe that X, Y, and Z is true about the captaincy and why he was picked. And I hear all that. I just think the proof is made by what we've been seeing. And I think what has been unfolding in front of us proves the point that Sonny A does have leadership qualities. So everyone saying that is wrong. And B,
How did Sonny's performance against Brentford prove that he was...
That's not what I'm talking... I'm not talking about singular performance. I'm talking about Sonny as a whole, to this club, to the locker room, to the management, that what he brings is of the highest level. So therefore you make that person the captain. Yeah, and that's why I've said he's got to be the captain all along.
And do you know what I've said as well? This whole, can I just say, right, this whole he sells shirts thing as well. He's going to sell shirts regardless from that fan base. I don't think it matters whether he's captain or not. So I feel like that's a bit of a falsity.
No, but you make... you're making just quickly. You're making the most popular player the poster boy for the club. That's how it's going to bring more shirts.
No, because he gets the shirts anyway. Because he's
he sold shirts before it.
Hold on a minute. He's the most popular. A lot of people say that people only come and watch him. That was before he was captain. It's not going to make a blind bit of difference because they're very loyal, the Koreans. So they're going to watch him and buy his shirts regardless. They have done all along. They've done for all these years.
Shirt sales was not the motivation for him to be captain.
So to try and verify your argument by saying like something that's clearly not actually isn't true because the sales are already big with Sonny is disingenuous in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Kane didn't need to become captain to sell shirts, did he?
No.
But I genuinely think if you inverse it, just one second, mate. If you inverse the argument, not making Sonny captain creates a set of problems. Not making Sonny captain and giving it to someone else who doesn't deserve it on longevity might be an issue.
Or don't fancy him, don't want him to be captain. I get that. We all get that. But the point is then he's picked 2 as vice captains. The only 2 other players that get a mention, I mean, Højbjerg looks like he's going, or Bentancur is not fit, and suddenly Bissouma's come into the frame because he started the season and pre-season on fire. So who would you pick? I mean, the point is he's going to pick them and he's going to be careful over his selection. And Ange would have given this considerable thought, right? And probably more from the psychological angle than anything else. And so who would you pick otherwise? He's always saying we don't want Son and we don't want Romero and we don't want Maddison. So like now you're down to Bissouma and Bentancur who's not fit, right? And we don't know about the language issues with Bentancur anyway. If you think the captain's the important thing on the football field, which I don't know. I think it's purely PR across the board, and it's about squad harmony within the squad. You know, people be able to converse all around, getting free players that can talk to everyone in the squad, and create and gel. You know, I'm not. People
no, disagree. I think Adrian. I disagree about the role, like whether there's a necessity for a captainship. I think there is. But I take your point around if it's not Son, who is it? I take that point. I definitely do. But I think that I definitely think that there is no. To me, his point, as she's right, like shirt sales doesn't a captain's armband doesn't affect shirt sales. My concern is what consequences are there to giving someone the captain's armband? Well, the captain's armband should be on the pitch 90% of the time, and I think that Sonny, to me.
Well, you pick someone who's going to play every game,
and that's a problem. That's a problem.
Then you start looking for outstanding candidates, right?
Right, exactly right. And I take your point. Bissouma, Benson,
playing every game. We lack that, right?
The outstanding candidate would be James Maddison, simply because of what James Maddison has achieved in England, right? At Leicester City, won Leicester the FA Cup. He won the FA Cup for Leicester. Okay.
He was barely captain for Leicester, though, right? Like it was mainly.
But he led them to win trophies.
He also led them to relegation last season. Let's not forget that. He also led them there. He's the leader of that. Missed a penalty to keep him up. So I think we should temper ourselves when it comes to James Maddison. I understand he's a hell of a player, but I think
Jacob going after James Maddison.
I'm not taking anything away from Son.
I just think it's weird. A dude walks in here, took one shit in the building, and everyone's like, make him a fucking captain because of what he did with Leicester.
I'm not saying that, but what you just reminded everybody of seemed a little bit snarky, bro. Seemed a little bit like, let's not forget.
I'm just saying. Lest we forget, we're gonna remember the good shit, and y'all gonna remember I'm saying let's keep it the same on both sides of the pancake. I want the heat the same on both sides of the pancake. That's just how I roll. Because if we're gonna say he's done X, Y, and Z, let's not forget the other things he's done and the rest of the alphabet. That's all I'm saying with the James. And again, I'm not saying he can't. I loved him for vice captain because I do agree with the sentiment that on the pitch we need 11 leaders. Well, we don't have that, and we all know we don't have that. So what's the next best thing? Well, we got Sonny, who's our captain, and then in the midfield we have Maddison, who's the vocal leader, and then we have a back line, Christian Romero, who everyone also said he don't possess the leadership qualities. He's got this, that, and the other. His decision making is X, Y, and Z.
Psychology with Romero for a start off, right? We all know he's a bit rash. He's a very good defender, in my opinion.
He's not captain material either.
Right? So what do you try to do? You try and give them a bit of responsibility, hoping it'll just curb a bit of this rashness, but still leave the player that we all know and love. I love him, right? So, like, because before people were saying, oh, he's too rash, and before Romero was in the team, oh, we ain't got enough proactive players that get stuck in like the old days. No, you can't have it both ways. So I think he was given it as I think the whole three were a psychological, ruse by
the reason Son got the captain's armband. If you compare it very much to how the head prefect being selected at school, it's based on a popularity contest. It's not based on the leadership qualities they bring.
Yeah,
Son is the most. He's the most popular player in that dressing room simply because of how long he's been there, and he's got to know all the players as a whole.
I think saying popular.
Hang on.
I think Josh, by reducing it to popularity, I think is disrespectful to what Son has done for this club. Personally, that's how I see it. Saying it's a pop. Just hang on. If you want me to finish my point, so I can explain myself. Okay. By saying he's just the most popular one, I think that's the easy route. That's the easy thing to point to. I think it's the relationship he has with everyone in that locker room. Not popularity, because even if you're the most popular person, you can still be a shithead. But if you're a good person and you have a good relationship with every single person in that club and you can turn around and say, look, man, it's me asking you to help in this time of need. I think Son is that guy. He's the only one that connects all the players together because he has a relationship with every single one. He has a relationship with their family. It's beyond popularity. I think saying it's a popularity contest is reducing it in a very simplistic manner. And I don't think it's really taking into account the full scope of what went into this process. Because when you look at it, every player who's ever stepped foot in Tottenham, whether it was for a month and then they got loaned out, or whether it's been for 8-9 years, like with Harry Kane, they all love Heung-min Son, and they all have a special relationship with him. Even when they leave, they still say the same thing. Clement Longley was here for a year. He couldn't get his hands off Son when he got the chance. That's what I'm saying is his personality and the way he meshes with people, he connects everybody.
Right, I'm in agreement with you that Son was the best choice. I still think he's the best choice over Maddison. Josh has got his opinion. That's fair enough. I respect it, right? But no one's going to kid me. Look, in amongst the players, he is very popular, and that was the reason. Ange knows that when he's around the training ground. When you're going to pick a captain around the training ground, like, you don't want to pick the wrong person, do you? You wouldn't want to pick Dyer, would you? Hey. So, like, Josh is laughing. Right, but you don't want to pick Dyer, do you?
He's been picked in the past, surprisingly.
Either, So, like, we hadn't actually got sort of outstanding candidates there, right? And then you got, language, all these other things come into question. I think Ange got it right, actually, with what was there in front of them. I think he got it right. You could pick Basuma now because he's had 2 great games and led the games. You could have gone for Bentancur before he got injured last season. I don't know what his language skills are like, English language skills are, but if they're not good, then obviously no. But I think he got it about right from what we've got in the squad. And like, there is, who else? I mean, I go with Maddison, like Josh said, and he's just come into the team. Curver, go on. I'll shut up.
Yeah, if you don't know the squad, it makes sense to go to the player that's really popular with the players. At least then you can be dealing with one person who can act as the liaison for the rest of the squad. Sonny's a good choice for that. It's the first season. It doesn't matter too much. What I think personally ties in with something you were saying before, Adrian, about that there's no other options really. We don't have those sort of characters in the 100%. Team. As far as I'm concerned, the last time we had what I would call a natural leader in the team was probably Michael Dawson. Now, he wasn't the greatest player, but he was a bloody good captain for us. And he commanded respect, led by example, brave as they come. Everybody looked up to him. We have not had anybody like that. I mean, he's more of an old school defender nowadays, but I just don't see anybody in the team like that at all.
Yeah. Him, Ledley King of that era. You'd sort of.
You let me down there, Kuva. You did let me down. I thought you were going to say somebody else.
I was going to say somebody else.
That's what I meant like that.
But he's before that. Gary Marbut, before that, Steve Perryman.
Robert.
Richard Goff as well. That was another one, Naturals. lack of those sort of
And
characters.
what they all had in common, they was all in successful teams. You see, this
Yeah.
again, it's funny how these great captains. You know, when it mentions a great captain from a team that never won nothing, right?
I think
Yeah.
that's a bit disingenuous though, because there's obviously teams that we might not follow that they obviously within what they think is a great captain, because it's a different captain for each type of team. Don't remember, because not all the teams are going to be top teams. So you're telling me there hasn't been great captain within teams that are in the lower half of the table? Of course there has been. I think that's a bit disingenuous to say that.
Fair enough.
I'm laughing because we've got Rick C in the chat saying that Sonny's a world-class player as well. So I'm not daring to open that can of worms after I open the captain can of worms. I'm keeping quiet about the world-class thing.
It's another rubbish conversation. Back decades, when you talked about world-class players, you'd pick the 10 best or 11 best players in the world and one reserve at them, who you thought were the best players in every different position in that side, and that was it. Right now, you get players going, oh, they've got world-class players. We've got You see all these pre-match conversations that are out by interviews. Absolute rubbish. And I don't care if Kane is world-class or if Son's world-class. I only care that the players in my team play well and consistently play well throughout a season. Other people can stick labels on or take them apart. And what they want to do is try and tear them apart or drag them down. Kane's never got the respect he's fully deserved, you know, and he may never will, even if he wins a trophy in Germany. But, like, I'm not interested in labels. Kane's a legend. He's an effing legend. And, like, I don't care. Son...
Isn't that a label?
His club. Sorry?
Isn't legend a label? I'm not interested in labels. He's a legend. He's world class. He's phenomenal. He's the best there ever was.
Excuse me while I shoot myself, okay?
There's obviously like rules with whether you're allowed to label or not. Clearly.
I mean,
Mia, have you learned
this
the
whole
word
thing
disingenuous today? You've used the word disingenuous 6 times. I've been counting.
I'm just glad that you can count that far.
It's a favourite word.
Very good. Good comeback.
Mia's word this week is disingenuous.
Yeah. Toilet paper.
Man who works in finance getting dissed about his maths. It's great.
I love it.
Hey guys, I got to jump. I'm sorry. I got to get myself ready for tomorrow. Love you guys.
Yeah, big up, Sean. Thank you for joining in. Thanks for popping up with Jacob tonight. Big up. We got about 110 of y'all in the house. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Participate in the poll. All 3 of those things absolutely free, as well as going around and supporting every Tottenham Hotspur content creator out there that you got. Lazy 8 makes a good comment, says he's captained 1 Premier League match. What has he done to show he shouldn't be captain? He's captain of his country with distinction in several international competitions. No one else in the squad has that. So I'll throw this, Kate, haven't heard you dish too much on this point. So
yeah, what we talking about? Who brought this up?
Was it me? It might have been.
I'll tell you the reason why he shouldn't be captain. Because when he was announced as captain, he went up like the most nervous little 12-year-old in front of school assembly and just went, "Well, guys," and it was the most cringy thing I've ever seen. My toes were curling. There is not one part of Sonny that could motivate me to do anything. Can you imagine Sonny giving someone the hairdryer treatment if they mess up? I don't think so. I love him. I mean, someone said, why all the hate? You can't criticize anyone these days about someone saying you're hating. I don't hate him. I love him. But he's not captain material for me. Not a chance.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you're not the manager of Tottenham Hotspur, because he disagrees with that.
I'll tell you what. Simply because he scores goals and no other reason.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what Kate's just done. She's had a grenade in her hand. She's pulled the pin. She's thrown it and gone duck for cover.
Guilty.
Yeah, hater. Clearly a hater. Flip-flop, mud-ridden hater.
There's an argument to be made for the old. It used to happen in cricket a lot as well, where the club captain isn't necessarily the captain of the team. And, you know, Sonny's a model professional, no doubt about that. Respect, worldwide respect. You know, you don't get any scandals with him. It's all totally down, straight and narrow. Good image, clean-cut image, great for the club. More of an ambassador type captaincy role. They used to do that in cricket a lot as well, but then the team captain, entirely different character. That's the one you need on the pitch that's got that kind of respect where the other players actually have a bit of fear about them, that they're not living up to the captain's standards, because he will be leading by example, and they have got to follow it, otherwise they're in trouble. I don't get that feeling with Sonny. I feel he's too nice, but I could be wrong, because I mean, you can't always tell what's going on the pitch. He could have a real nasty streak if it's not going on.
No way.
Right.
You never know. You never know.
True, but that's like saying you've got a nasty streak. It's impossible. You're a big cuddly bear.
But believe it, if there was somebody, yeah, all right, maybe you're right.
Moving on because Jacob's distracted. Out of all the strikers we've been linked with, who do you want to bring in?
Gift Orban.
Gift Orban. Yeah.
Gift Orban.
Lautaro Martinez, that ship sailed last season. Don't want that no more.
No. He's not allowed.
Vlahovic.
He's not allowed to come.
Vlahovic, that ship sailed 2 seasons ago. Gift
like
Orban's
Vlahovic.
a fresh one. Let's go with Gift
What
Orban.
about Moani, Kolo Moani?
PSG's already agreed permanent terms with him.
Ivan Toney?
Ivan Toney's banned until January.
Yeah, do.
Yeah, I'll put a bet on that one.
Don't wait till January. This is another thing that gets me. I'll wait till January, fans. We'll get Ivan Toney. No. Let's move now.
Well, so you bring him in and then can't play until January because he's banned from playing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put a bet on the Tony one, though.
Oh, very funny.
I'll bet you're not allowed to sign a banned player anyway.
No,
you're exempt.
We can still approach them, I'm sure.
Wahi as well.
You can agree terms to get a free contract agreement.
Yeah, that's possible, I suppose.
Yeah,
Scott M says, back to the conversation of Son as captaincy. Yeah, I know, Adrian, you tried to pull us out, but guess what? The mud has not been washed off yet. So I got some more for y'all. Scott M says there has been no reasons why Sonny shouldn't be captain and someone else should other than feelings. That isn't a problem, but it shows there's no clear option and Son by far the top choice. So I think, again, the appointing 2 vice captains was a security net. It's a safety blanket in the sense that if Son's not performing, this is a way to hold him accountable. But I think you put your faith in your front foot forward and those who have repaid your faith every time that you've taken that step. So that's just my personal.
Someone made a valid comment.
Oh, sorry, just quickly, I was going to say the other obvious one there is picking those 3. It's going to be very unlikely that all 3 won't be on the pitch.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Do you know what? Someone made a valid point in the chat. You've got 1 forward, 1 midfielder, 1 defender. You've got a captain in each department.
Perfect. Yeah. Captain here, captain there, captain everywhere. And guess what, Kate?
It should have been.
Sonny's there was.
Wouldn't you have loved to have seen a Captain Scarlet?
Oh, yes.
Oh, come on, Cooper.
Lazy Ape brought up a good point that in regards to what you're saying, Kate, about the announcement video when he got up and you said he looked shy. I agree. What was he supposed to do in that situation? I don't know. Was he a little shy? I don't know. I think it was more of like when you put somebody on the spot when they don't expect it, it's a little different than when you know you're about to public face and speak.
That's so crap.
I want to say this as well. What? Why is that crap, Kate? Real quick. Why is that?
Because Jacob, I love you dearly, and I love how emotionally attached you are to Sonny. But I'm sorry, these people. I mean, Gina's in there giving me loads of sticks, saying I'm a hater because I'm speaking truth here. I love Sonny as much as anybody, but he's not right as captain for the club. And if you get a footballer and you announce them as captain, number one, it won't have been a surprise. Everybody in the whole world knew he would be captain. Even Sonny would have known. And number two, he's a grown man. You don't go up and behave like that. You've got to read the room and you've got to control the room. You're suddenly captain of all these men and you walk up and you giggle like a little girl. No.
I just think everyone's perception of what they believe a captain to be is not necessarily what is necessary to be captain. I just want to caveat that, Kate. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you provide the antithesis to the points that I'm making. That makes a great conversation, I think. And Gina, her name is Kate from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, and she loves Spurs just as much as everyone else. But I do disagree with you, Kate, because I don't think that this carbon cutout. This is what a captain looks like. Is this cut out of a man? And they act this way and they conduct themselves in a certain way. Again, I go back to the point that I think not every captain has to look like what we stereotype and think of a Roy Keane captain, right? The hard nose, going to get in your face. I think the relationships that Son has with every player on the bench, on the starting 11, and in the reserves, and even in the academy, I think the relationships he has with them is enough of a pull that when it comes down to the leadership on the field, he can turn around and say, we're in the thick of it and I need X, Y, and Z, or let's do this. And again, it's a leadership by community. So I still think it's the right choice.
Do you know what I would say, right? Believe it or not, I'm really actually somebody who hates getting up in front of people and talking. So if there's a group of a lot of people, I get really nervous. I don't like everybody looking at me, even though I do the YouTube thing. It's really like, obviously it seems a bit weird. So you can't I kind of get where you're coming from, Kate, but I also get from the other side that he's got a camera there. He knows there's a camera. Maybe it was a bit of a surprise, possibly. And I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like that maybe it's just that him talking like that sort of environment might be the reason why he acted more nervous. Because it might not be, maybe in the groups when he's in with his mates, it's just him and his mates, he might act differently. You just don't know, do you, I suppose? That's what I mean,
I'm getting called a racist now, white Western bias. That's just such a load of crap. I mean, come on, snowflakes, please. I'm not saying that he's not a good guy, and I know the culture in Korea is different. Oh my God, these people. I'm just saying, if you watch Sonny, if you watch the Amazon documentary, you watch his interviews, he's everyone's friend and everyone loves him because he's lovely Sonny. But can you seriously imagine him kicking people's asses when they're not pulling their finger out?
Yes.
And that is what you need.
The man is trained to kill. The man is trained to kill. He knows how to kill another human. No, it's not biased.
So biased, darling. You are.
It's not biased. This man's done military service. Salute the troops, Kate. Salute the troops.
It's an American thing, right?
It
is. Salute the troops,
man. The Son obsession. It's an American
thing. You know who didn't go to fucking boot camp? Eric Dyer. And he still got to wear the captain's armband. No one said shit.
Come on, Clovis, say something.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
Oh dear.
David Harris would say Dyer went to moon boot camp.
Yeah. How funny. I mean, Rick C as well. I'm wrong, but Rick C thinks that Son's world class. Son's world class.
He's a world class finisher. He's a world class finisher. No one can finish in this club better than he can, and I'll stand by that.
But he's not a world class player, because if he was, we'd have had a bid for him. We've never had a bid from him off anyone except Saudi Arabia.
Because every time they come sniffing, what does a leader do? He says, "No, I'm fully Spurs."
No.
That's what he did. The proof is in the pudding, Kate. That's what he did this summer.
We haven't had a bid for him
because he doesn't allow it to happen. Because clubs, Kate. In business, you approach the player and say, is this a move you want to do? Or else you get egg on your face like Harry Maguire and West Ham, right? That's how you do it. You go to a player, you say, are you interested in coming? Should we put in a bid for you? There's been clubs that have done that, and Son shoot him away first sniff of another club coming in for him. He put it to bed, Kate.
News,
so
you know, on the outgoings, I mean, like McBurger and Dombelli is wanted by his previous manager, who's now at Rennes. And he's like tempted to go. Tanganga's wanted. Sanchez is wanted. Lo Celso's wanted. You know, I mean, I think we're going to shift some of these players. Sanchez will go as well. We don't need him. He's improved, but we don't need Sanchez. You know, we need a quality centre back in. Then we've got three we can rotate and bring Phillips in, or even Dorrington, or dare I say it, our man from Southend.
It's an interesting point.
This is a good point from C. Shearman. I want to clarify. This is a great point. As fans, we're allowed to talk shit. If it's right, if it's wrong, for better or worse, absolutely. This is all for fun and banter. It's all football. No, I don't think anyone here has done or crossed any lines here on the panel that I've heard. So let's all just remember, it's just football. We're all fans here. I'm not in the room. I don't know. I'm basing all my thoughts and opinions on what I see, as is everybody else, and we see things through different lights. And I think that's what makes this world so beautiful, is we all have a different spice to life. So
I like bringing in the spiciness.
Yeah, you brought in something, Kate. I know that. I don't know if it's spicy. Maybe that Taco Bell spicy's not really spicy, but it comes out spicy.
If she's been bringing a white girl, how much spice have white girls got, though, isn't it?
There's lots of spice coming this way tonight. I'm bringing all the controversy with me. I've got
All
bags
right, Jim,
of it.
careful.
I've had a
Strap
really-
in, Jim.
Okay,
You're getting in for a night.
Jacob, I've had the shittest week. Let me tell you, you could ever imagine. So all this hate has just come out this week and controversy, and I'm just loving it because it's blown up into great arguments and discussions, and it's great.
Yeah, it's discussions, isn't it?
speaking
Like
of-
the end of the end of the day, it's just opinions. No one's being personal.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? No one's getting personal with each other because
Yeah.
it's good, man.
I did get animated, so if anyone got scared by the non-chilled out Jacob, it's just because I was trying to fucking talk.
It's a good conversation. It's a good conversation that was brought up just then as well. So I don't know. I can't remember this guy's name. I'm really
Adrian.
sorry. Adrian, you bring
The
up a
brick wall
valid
goat.
point. You bring up a valid point about Davidson Sanchez, right? Because a lot of people now are saying that we should give him a chance.
No.
You've just said he should go. Are you still on that boat?
Yes.
Nice one, Sonny.
You're still
Yes.
why?
The reason
Why?
the reason I state that is quite simple, right? We've got two good centre backs in Van der Ven and Romero, right? You bring a third one, and my argument is there's always with a 25-man squad, right? You can't have 25-man world class or super quality players. Even Pep hasn't got it at Man City, right? So you've got your 11. You should be able to look to a bench of 5 you can bring on. So that's 16, and probably have 2 or 3 extra through injuries, maybe the odd first. So you're looking at like you really want a squad of 18, right? Then like the other 2 are on the bench. They're lucky, probably goalkeepers. And the 5 left out of the match day squad, you hope they're young players that might be given an opportunity in the future. Because if you can't even make the match day squad, you've got no future at the club anyway. Sanchez, he's played well in a couple of games he's come on, but he's deceived us before. And I want all this talk about strikers, midfielders, wingers, and all that is driving me nuts. I want a quality centre back. No matter how much money we've gotten for Kane, and bear in mind, we won't have been given all that money in one lump, and we haven't sold it because we spent 100 mil of the 150 mil on sorting things out before, and there's 50 mil of that still left, right? Without the Kane money, it hasn't been spent. All these Spurs fans, it hasn't been spent. So we know that the club, not all these chats and all these media, tiers of media that are crap and keep pumping out all the BS, right? We know that we want a centre back and a striker are what we're going for, right?
But you got Davidson Sanchez, he's a backup for a centre back, right? If we're in the market, you're not going to get a top quality centre back that's going to play second fiddle to Romero or Van der Ven.
Hold on, this is the point, right? You will, because when you bring another centre back in, you bring a quality centre back in, right? And you say this is the thing that gets me at Tottenham. People talk about backup. Hang on now. We're Tottenham Hotspur, and we're talking about backup players. That's belittling yourself before you even start. You don't talk about backup players if you're Tottenham Hotspur, right? You bring a quality centre-back in, and you say to that centre-back to get him in, look, I'll be rotating you 3. You will get game time. We've got 40 games this season with 2 cup games. I will give you, you'll get 20 games this season, right? And then that way you can keep them happy because you know that Romero will get suspension through bookings or we might get the odd injury. So now you've got your 3, right? Then you can bring Ashley Phillips in as your 4th centre-back, and he is a bowler. He is a bowler at 19 years of age. And if you haven't watched him, go and watch him. Haven't seen Alfie Dorrington or Charlie Sayers from Southend.
Dorrington's quality.
I've watched a few academy games, but I can't comment because I haven't seen enough of them, right? My internet went funny. Sorry.
I agree here.
So I hate the term backup. I hate it because backup it smells inferior, lack of quality, right? Sanchez hasn't got it, and he'll know as Colombia's captain, right? He is not going to get a third of the game time, or he's not going to get 20 games this season. So he will go, and there's plenty of people have been in for him, right? He will go, and we need to get a Tapsoba, a Rabaro, a Scherzin, an Ibanez. I'd love Bremer. I would love Bremer. He cost Juventus 40 million euros, which is 34 million quid. Juventus a skim. If you offered him 40 mil, we would get him, and he's got the experience. Other than that, I would love Tapsoba. I would. I mean, there's a few of them I would take. Schurz I would take because he's a very good defender. Blocks and headers. Go watch a video. This guy will die in front of your back four, front of your goalkeeper for you. Not sure about his ball progression. Sean would probably be able to tell me more about that because I'm more an eye test fan than I am a stats man. You know, I'm an old.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before the show, Adrian, about that. I'm kind of 50. I let my eyes tell me the story, and then I watch it again to let my eyes tell me a second story, and then I look at the stats and say, do the stats back up what my eyes tell me? And usually I get it wrong with at least one player. Like I thought
50-50.
I thought, yeah, that's how I treat the stats and the eye test. I think you need all sides of the argument to see
Too many
a true story here.
stats with me.
But let me go ahead and bring in Chris from Meta Football TV's joined first time on the channel. How you doing? You called at a time in which opinions and armpits were at an all-time high. So by armpits, I mean armpit temperature, solely speaking for myself. But for you, what's up, man? Did you have a point you want to come in? You want to just chat about United?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about United. Yes, no, I just I saw you on earlier, and I saw all the lovely people that were on, and I couldn't come on, so I can now. And if I'm welcome to stay a bit and chat, then I'll stay on.
We're all just shooting the shit. We are coming up here on 2 hours, so if you are in the chat right now watching this live, please hit that like. It goes hit a like if you love Sonny. Hit a like if you are like Kate and you hate Sonny. You have a vendetta against. I'm just playing. I'm totally just egging it on. I'm just egging it on.
Can't hate Sonny.
No, you know what? I think it's okay for people to be critical of him. This is a big year in which he has a lot to prove. Let's be honest, right? He had a down year, but he's addressed it. And if he's addressed it, that's more accountability than any fucking person I've seen in that locker room these past 4 years. So
sure.
That's where I lie with it. But what's up, Chris? Where do you land with the whole captaincy Sonny thing? Are you in the mud flip-flopping around, or are you with the rest of us pristine correctamundo? No, I'm just playing. Where do you stand with it? I was totally just doing that for Kate.
I don't know. I mean, is it an Ange? Is it solely an Ange decision, or is it? Because I saw this floating around Twitter today. Is it solely an Ange decision, or is it a player voting decision? And Ange has said, right, I'm down with that, or is it a concessions kind of thing that both are in agreement, and Sonny has been the clear victor here? I'm not sure because I haven't got that information. Then can't really disagree, can I? I mean, I've always said that I would like someone with a bit more character, but because I think Sonny's a bit too bland. But then I'm not in the dressing room. I really can't say. I think that he's a legend in his own right. He's seems to be a really nice guy, really good player for our club, and has he's done well. But I'm a bit more old school. I'd like a bit more fire, a bit more blood running through the system. But that's just me. That's just my personal take.
Can't say that. You're racist.
Well, I couldn't give a shit.
Let's not egg that on. I think Gina. I think Gina feels passionately about the situation, but I will say this, Gina. I know Kate offline. She's not a racist person.
No.
She's just giving her opinion, which I happen to think is incorrect. But a lot of people think it is correct, not just Kate. So it's just a difference of opinion at the end of the day, in my opinion.
Yeah, I go on what I see,
Exactly.
because he's such a nice guy.
Big ups, Kalash.
But we don't know the actual person. It's like the Cristiano Ronaldo debate. He's a complete dick on the pitch, right? But then behind the scenes, he could be, the best guy that anyone's ever seen. It's only what we perceive, and we could be totally wrong. So perhaps Sonny is actually the best captain for Spurs, not just because he's been here the longest. Yada yada yada. So I don't have all the information to be able to opine, clearly, but I back the decision because people have more information than I do. So
Big up Sheikh Eric Ten Hag in the house. He's saying,
thank you.
Well said. I just wanted to say, what's up? We got a Man United fan in the house giving us a little banter here. I always want to give some attention and love to the folks who come in to a Spurs channel, give a little banter. So shout out Shake, Eric Ten Hag. Says Rashford Bruno goals. Says we're going to get smoked. Son is washed and he can't play every game. Why the manager made him captain? The guy's washed. We just had a great hour-long passionate discussion about this, Shake, about why we think he should and should.
We've already had friendly fire from Kate. Let's not do it again. Stop.
So big
Shake,
up.
you're going to get your ass kicked so hard you won't be able to sit down for a month.
This is the thing. See, effing hell was in here saying that they believe Sonny's not the right choice. But at the end of the day, whether I'm right or wrong, whether Kate's right or wrong, whether anybody who feels X, Y, and Z right, is going to be proven. Is going to be proven. And I'm putting my faith in the fact that Sonny will come good, that he's not past it, that everyone's worried about his age. And I think age is just a number when you take care of yourself in the manner of a professional like Cristiano Ronaldo, whom Sonny has mentioned in the past as someone he idolizes as far as dietary and how they keep up with their body. So to say that Sonny's past it, I think is premature. Yes, bad season.
Jacob, the debate is not about whether Sonny can score goals. It was whether he's worthy to be captain of the club.
But
I agree. I think he should get it. But you're talking about goals now. You're conflating goals.
Well, because he needs to score goals in order for people to get off his dick, right? That's the way I see it. People are so upset with him. And if he starts bagging, if he gets a hat trick on Saturday and a hat trick after that and a brace and a goal.
But Joe, what, Jacob?
Then that solidifies it.
Hold on, Jake, but I think everybody here wants to, anybody who did that, I'm sure they all want to be proven wrong because we want what's best for the club and we want Sonny to do well. None of us want Sonny not to do well. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure every single one here wants Sonny to do well. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to be in the mud. I want to be wrong about him being a captain. I want him to be coming good. So
no one in the main squad is exempt from getting criticised. It just so happens that Sonny's in a position, he's on a pedestal at the moment where he's going to get open to criticism. If he comes good, he comes good. If he doesn't, he doesn't. There's had this discussion again in about 8 to 10 weeks, and then we'll go from there. Again,
and
like
even more so, Josh, now he's captain, because if things go wrong,
that's what I meant by he's on a pedestal.
Even more.
That's what I meant by he's on a pedestal, because he's in a position of
your son's on the pedestal falling off.
That is true, but I think that if you, sorry to butt in there, but I think that if we can take anything from what Ange said whenever the captaincy was given to Sonny in that presentation, along with Madders and Romero, I think that it's not just that symbolic trio of people; it's the leaders and on the pitch. The captain is
Harry Maguire's a legend.
So I don't know. So, it's not just the captain is the leader of everyone. It's the captain. The leaders are on the pitch as well, and they're that's what he said. I can't paraphrase everything because I can't remember. But the leaders don't have to always wear armbands. So it's a symbolic thing. Agreed. But you have other warriors that are on the pitch as well that can be quote unquote captains as well that are going to pull you out the mud when others can't do it, so to speak. So, I mean, it's a team effort, and I get that from Ange. It's they're a team. That it's not just a captain that has to do all the work. It's a team, and I totally back that. I mean, because you're 25 people that have to do all the work equally, and it's not just the captain armband that differentiates him from anyone else, although he wears it, so to speak.
Good point. I almost hit back on my browser and exited the studio. I'm glad I did not. But let's all. I think we've got your take, Chris. We've all gone on about it. Unless someone has any final parting thoughts about Heung-min Son as captain or et cetera, the captain conversation. I do want to divert this conversation back into previewing Manchester United. So I want to go around and I want to get everyone's score predictions and goal scorers as well before we just hit 2 hours. So I'm not sure how much longer we're going, but please do hit that like if you've been entertained, angered, offended. We've had it all. But at the end of the day, I hope you feel the love because I love you.
I've been offended.
No matter what you think or feel, if I think you're wrong, you think I'm wrong, Kate, I'm looking at you. I still love you. All right, and it's all love from me.
Offended. I'm offended. I'm hitting the like button because I'm offended by myself. I actually offended myself.
Trust me, you're going to be feeling that way when we're talking in December and you're like, look at Son, all these goals. Look at Son. He's such
When
a
you're
beast.
kissing my feet, saying you were right, Sonny is spent, and Richarlison is crap.
Well, the Richarlison
I hope
thing,
you're
I'm
right.
not putting a box on the Richarlison thing yet. The Son thing,
No.
keep the box away. But the Richarlison conversation is a different one. But I want to get everyone's thoughts now. I'm going to start with Mia, and I'm going to go clockwise. All right, so Mia, I'm going to start with you. Your goal scores and predictions for Manchester United, as well the chat. Hit me with your goal scores and your predictions. I'll star them. I'll read them out before I give my prediction, but I'm going to go around the horn here. Toot, toot. But Mia, let me go ahead and start with you.
I think we're going to win 2-1, and I think we're going to have a Maddison goal and a Maddison assist, and I think that the goal scorer will be Richie, the other goal scorer.
All right. Short and sweet. Do you think that? Wait. Let me start. You got. I was literally clicking off a comment, and I read a comment, and then you were done with your prediction. So I'm not gonna lie, I missed it. It was very
what
quick.
kind of host are you?
The worst kind. I'm the Jimmy Fallon of hosts. Don't worry. Just the absolute worst kind. Mia, say it for me one more time.
So 2-1, and I think the goal scorers are going to be Maddison and Richie.
Okay, 2-1. Who's scoring for? Is it our fault that? Of course, it's our fault. Why we conceded a goal, right? It's always our fault.
Yeah, it's going to be Rashford. He's going
to goal.
Here we go. I'm surprised you haven't brought out the fact that his ankle breathed the same oxygen as the other player's ankle, and that's why we got the pin. But let's not digress. Kate, you wait your turn up there, Kate. The sheriff is in the house. What's your prediction for Saturday, my friend? Goal scorer, and who's your goal scorers?
It's going to be a high-scoring game, isn't it? Because we can't defend. I hope we win 4-3.
4-3. All right.
Yeah. It's going to be one of them games, I think, because every time Man United come forward, they're probably going to score. And I just hope that we can score more than that, to be honest.
All right.
So who's going to score our 4? Richie, surely. He's got to do something eventually. You'd like to think so.
Eventually.
I mean...
Yeah,
that's what the gold miners said when they went to California. Eventually, you got to find something.
Yeah.
A lot of people died on that journey, by the way.
Yeah. So Richie with 2, Maddison 1, and I'm going to go Basuma. Basuma with a header.
Basuma with a header. All right.
Yeah.
Love the prediction so far. Spurs are looking immaculate. Adrian Troca, what are you looking like tomorrow? Who do you think scores the goals, and what is your final result, my friend?
I'm going to the game. We've got this 4-1, right? 2 from Richie, 1 from Son, 1 from Cooley. Man United will get a dodgy goal that'll be debated on Sly Sports and Talk Shite Radio for the next month about a dodgy VAR decision.
Ooh. I don't know if I like that one very much, but you know what?
Fair
we
enough.
move anyway. I like it, Adrian. Thank you for the prediction. Josh, what is your prediction for this weekend? Goal scores.
I reckon it's going to be a 2-1 win. I think it's going to be very, very scrappy, and I can see it'll be either Maddison or Kulu, and I think Son gets the second.
There we go. Showing them leadership qualities on the pitch. I like it.
Well, no, he's doing his job as a centre forward.
Well, so that's you assuming he's going to play in that centre forward position. I don't think he will, but
I think he does.
I think he should. I just don't think he will. Kate, Sonny with a hat trick is your prediction. Let me guess.
I'm actually going for 3-2. Sonny to get 2.
Ooh.
Shock horror. He actually doesn't hate Sonny. Newsflash. Sonny to get 2. Maddison to get 1. I think there'll be a Man United penalty, and I think Rashford will get the other. But I think it will be 3-2 to us. Sonny always scores on 5:30 games, so I fancy him to bag 2.
That sounds like a betting man stat. I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on a bet.
Yeah.
Typical
You heard it here
woman,
first.
Typical
5
woman.
o'clock. Right?
Sorry, you did the racism. I thought I'll go for sexism.
Go on, Kuva.
Go on, Kuva. Yeah.
Love Kate. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really cagey match, devoid of chances. So I'm going to go for 7-3.
7-3. I love
Yeah,
it.
some with all 10.
Some with all 10.
3 own goals and 7 reggies.
Warm up 3 own goals in the first 5 minutes, and then just wait till the last 2 minutes and stoppage time. And
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, come on. Realistic. I've said it earlier today. I feel like it's a 4-3 game. Mark's obviously in tune with that one.
Yes.
I'm backing Richarlison to get a couple.
Wow.
I think there's something about him. Gets overlooked all the time. I think he is capable of sticking the ball in and that if you give him enough chances. He's not as clinical as Kane. Not many players are. I think we just got to find that way to get behind their fullbacks, get to the byline, start cutting the ball back. There's players like Richarlison will be there waiting for it. It's going to go right eventually because our forward line hasn't been clicking. We still got a couple of goals last week. I'm just really looking forward to it all. I think we're an exciting team. There's going to be goals in it. We're going to concede a couple of shockers, perhaps caught on the break. But I think Man United are there for the taking at the moment. They never warm up early in the season. Playing them home this early, spot on. They're there for the taking. So 4-3, Richarlison a couple. I fancy Maddison to bag one. And then someone a bit left field, maybe Udogie or someone like that popping up.
I love that
For
prediction.
United,
It's a lot of fun.
For United, it's always going to be it's always going to be a dodgy penalty, isn't it? Adrian was right earlier. So Bruno Fernandes is going to score a dodgy penalty. Rashford will get one, and then somebody unexpected, Luke Shaw, someone like that.
Oh, even Luke Shaw.
Yeah, I love really going for outsider bets, so I'm going to put money on all of that happening. £1.
Okay. Well,
and the 7-3.
And the
always
7-3.
put a pound on 7-3. One day it will happen, and it's about 800 quid's worth of bet. That is.
Brilliant.
Well, the order got kind of finagled and jangled, but Chris, were you next? I think you were next.
Yeah, I think I was just after Kuva. Yeah, I'm going to disappoint everyone, and I hope I don't lose any of my spectacular 90 subscribers that I've got. But I'm going to go for a 2-3 loss at home. I'm just being realistic.
You're a fucking hater. No, I'm just playing.
That's it, Chris.
He
I'm
doesn't just
banning
hate
you.
Son, he hates the whole team.
Do you know what I'm doing? I'm blocking you on my channel now. That's it, Chris. You're not allowed back, mate. Sorry.
It's not just Western bias. It's North, East, West, and Southern bias.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be realistic.
No, that's cool. That's a good prediction.
I got last not yesterday, last Thursday on the stream that I did with Ellie and Jose. We predicted the Brentford Spurs, and I got that right 2-2, and I predicted 67%, and it was something like 69-70%. So I have to go with 2-3 home loss. I just have to. I said it from the beginning, and that's what I'm sticking with. I'm sorry, but that's just.
Hey, you're allowed any prediction you want. Kate came on here and spread her malicious.
I'm sorry. It's just the way I feel about it. There's just something. I just feel that way about it. I don't know why, but Man U, and we've all agreed that there's something dodgy about Man United, right? And I just feel that there's something dodgy about tomorrow. I think that Mickey van der Ven will score header.
Ooh.
And yeah, I think Madders would probably get like a free kick or a goal, something like that. Yeah.
The only dodgy thing about the game tomorrow is you're cursing it. Don't watch it because you're going to curse it. You're trying to curse the game.
I want us to win, obviously. There's no doubt about that. I'm just going with predictions.
Who is Kuva? Kuva's a legend. He's a goat. He speaks English. He's the only English speaking goat I've ever ran into. That's who
And a
Kuva is.
Viking.
And he's a Scandinavian Viking.
I was
you know.
talking
Brilliant.
to Jim the other day.
No, he's.
And,
I don't know what. I don't. He knows who you are, Kuva. I don't know what he's talking about. He
Anyway.
must be asking to something else. I don't know.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe he's
Someone
trying to
here.
forget you, Kuva. Did you do something to him? He's trying to forget you.
Props, that's it.
We love Kuva.
You can't forget Kuva. Once you meet a Kuva, you can't forget a Kuva. Let me run through some of the predictions from the chat real quick before I give my score predictions. But I appreciate everyone who has put their predictions in the chat. Let's see. John Celtic guy says 3-2 Spurs. Yeeds. Come on, 3-2 Spurs. I like that. You didn't put your goal scores, neither did Beer Talk, but it don't matter. 4-3. Come on, you Spurs. Effing Hell says 4-0 Son hat trick. Come on, Effing Hell. Will that make him captain worthy for you? I know you didn't want him as captain either, but hopefully it makes him a little bit better in your eyes. No, okay, Kate, don't. You stop it now, Kate. James says
you said earlier in
3-2.
the show, Jacob. If
Yeah.
Sonny scores goals, nobody's going to care if he's captain or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Once him and Richarlison both bag a brace. Spoiler alert. James says 3-2. Doesn't say who wins, but that's a good scoreline. Either way you put it, I think. Rick C says 3-1 Spurs. Richie hat trick. What? Kate gonna come talk to me nicely after that one. I'll have a show
will.
just with you, Kate, just to talk
Oh,
about his
darling.
hat. If he gets a hat trick, I've got to do it.
I'll come on with Brazil flags on my cheeks, not my bum cheeks, my face cheeks.
The ones you're showing on cam. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Death Farts Glow, an interesting name nonetheless, says, I think Madison will score 2 goals and assist himself twice. What a lad. 2 solo goals from the magician himself. 2-1, says Death Farts Glow. Very good prediction there. Scott M says 4-1 United, Son to score 1. Well, there we go. We got one
We
out.
scored one, Scott, so that's a positive.
We scored one, Scott. Come on, Scotty. Talk to me nicely. Gary
He didn't say
O'Neill.
which goal though. Whether he
No.
was going to score one of the 4 or the one for us.
Easy now, Kate.
Don't start.
The ice is melting.
Funny that
You're about to fall in the frozen lake now.
Funny that Scott's our best case scenario. We only lose by a couple of goals, and he can't even manage that as a prediction.
Have you seen
Yeah,
Scott's?
we lost by 3, not even 2.
Have
Were
you
gonna
seen
say me?
Scott's comment? He said, "We've had the worst squad, much worse manager, and dumb system. Of course, we're going to lose."
Oh
Wow,
my
I love
God.
that positivity, Scott. You're so
Love
you're
it,
like,
Scott. On
love it.
brand.
Yeah, that's just typical Scott M fashion, though, isn't it? Like he's always negative about everything.
Big up Mama Coates in the house. Big up Mama. Says my husband's brother's a Man U fan and he ribs the heck out of my husband, so I really hope we win. Come on, you Spurs. I hope we do win, Mama Coates. Spot on there. Gary O'Neill says 4-3. Come on, you Spurs.
Yes.
Zapur says 4-1 Spurs. Son with a brace. Basuma and Richie get on the score sheet. So we got a couple Basuma shout outs for him scoring today. JC says a draw. Richarlison scores the only goal for Spurs. Spicy. Interesting little prediction there, JC. That's from a Chelsea fan giving us the draw. John Celtic says Madison, Van de Veen, Sonny, all to score goals. Very nice, John. 3-2 Spurs, says Daniel E. Dry Rose Peanut says he said 0-0, but then changed to a 2-1. So I like that. JC saying a 1-1 draw. Let me see if there's any late predicciones coming in here. I don't see any. No, that's
Daniel
it.
Sandoval.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah, there was 1-0 in there.
3-1
Yeah.
Spurs from Jim. Daniel Sandoval, one love, my brother, says 1-0 Yid Army. Love it.
Jacob, if we were to lose or draw, do you think we should take the captaincy away from Son?
Adrian, you're such a stirrer. Just leave it. Just leave it. I can't
Stop
believe
it.
Adrian.
Stop it.
We'll be here for another
Somebody
5
spank-
hours. Otherwise,
Somebody spank him.
As
This show's
an
got
as
it.
an incentive to be a good
Well,
captain. If he scores, he can keep the armband.
El Tel Cocarel is in the house, says 4-0 Spurs. I like the prediction, y'all. If you haven't already, please do hit that like. We will be ending the show very shortly. I'm going to give.
I love him.
Who?
They'll tell Jose.
Oh, Jose?
Jose.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Shout out, Jose.
Slag he is.
Yeah, he's a good dude out there. Before I give y'all all a chance to plug and tell everyone where they can find you. I didn't catch that, and I don't know if I want to. The poll has 122 votes. The video has 87 likes. My mental math says that's like 40 some motherfuckers want to party but don't want to bring no beer to the party. That just don't make sense to me. But again, this is a free universe. You can live the life you choose to lead. But I would encourage you to hit that like. It does wonders for the channel. As any person you watch on YouTube will say, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. All that fun. It's not really fun, but everyone has to say it. It's a fucking obligatory, and it does help the channel, so I cannot lie. If we could hit 100 votes, or 100 votes, we already have 123 votes. No reason we shouldn't have 100 likes, but that's neither here nor there. 124 votes. People are still voting and still not liking, but that's okay. We have had an interesting, heated, passionate, informative, and I would like to think entertaining discussion in regards to Tottenham going forward,
guys,
not just on Saturday. Yeah. But you know what? I like that everyone can voice their opinion. We kept it as respectable as possible without, Kate's slanderous blasphemy. But outside of that,
remarks, racist, sexist, homophobia remarks.
Outside of all that Kate did.
I'm not racist or sexist. I hate everyone all the same. I just don't like anyone.
But I will leave it there. Gina, I don't think it's the fact that we're all white and Western fans on. I don't think that has anything to do with the discussion.
And that's also an assumption as well. That's an assumption that we're all white Western fans, really.
Yeah.
Gina, the link is there for anyone who wants to join. Everyone's welcome. It's no one's excluded.
I did a podcast yesterday with Eugene from Persuasion.
Yeah.
As well. So I mean, it's just madness. It's just madness. There's no hate here. I'm really offended anyone to think that, because I don't hate anybody. I just give an opinion. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Especially Tottenham. We've took all this stick over being yids all this time as a slur, and Haringey being a predominantly black area anyway. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
exactly. The link to join was literally in the chat.
Like that, Come on.
The link to join's always there. I don't keep anyone off the show. Everyone's welcome to come, even if I don't fucking personally like you. You're still everyone's welcome to come. Gina has supported the channel offline. I want to say this, that Gina has supported this channel and myself personally. So I don't want it. I think it's just a misunderstanding. I think there's a little bit of the contextual part of it being a sentence we're reading, whereas the rest of us are on here and we're saying things, people are cutting, and then of course we're all friends behind the scenes, so you know what I mean, like we have inside jokes with each other that maybe can be misconstrued. But Gina, I know that you're a big supporter of the channel. I hope you don't think that this channel like isn't diverse enough. This is just, I do a Friday call-in show. Anyone who wants to come on can come on. It just so happens the melatonin count is low tonight, but that, I don't think that's a reflection of our opinions at all. But Gina, I do appreciate you always being here and supporting as well. I just don't think that I think maybe there was some kind of misunderstanding between the chat and the panel tonight. JC says, Jacob, 3% of your likes are from Chelsea fans. That's astonishing. I do get, I love all my Chelsea brothers. I love all my Liverpool United friends, everybody. Just because you support the wrong club doesn't mean you're a bad person. That's the way I always think about it. You know what I mean?
Jacob, they're the Chelsea fans that
person. Right. You're not a bad person, but we're not too sure, Sure, the personal choices could be better. That's all we're saying.
Well, I'll leave it there so that way there's,
That was a joke, by the way. That was just a joke before anyone gets offended in the chat.
We got that, Mia. It's all right. We got it.
Yeah, no, just the chat won't get offended.
Can I just say something quickly, Jacob? It's nothing controversial, I promise.
Well, with you, we never know. We never know, Kate. When you speak, I just don't know.
Do you know what? I feel like Kate Hopkins. You won't know who that is, Jacob, but I'm not a controversial person. But anyway, Zapur has put, Kate, I don't think you're being racist, but I do think you disrespected Sonny, calling him a giggling 12-year-old boy. That's our club captain. I live in Korea. It's very important to everyone. It wasn't meant in an offensive way. Maybe I used the wrong term. That's just my humour. That's just my own sense of humour saying something like that. I love Sonny and I respect him massively, and I would love nothing more than him to be a fantastic captain for this club. I just gave my opinion. I don't think he is, but I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah. Which is the way it is nowadays. There's always praying mantises that are waiting to pounce on everybody's word. And we're not all word perfect. We've not all got degrees in the English language. So, you have to bear with us. and you have to get the tone of the conversation as well.
Yeah.
Because
I don't
I
think
am
there's.
conversations in here today has
I
been
don't.
racist, sexist, homophobic, or anything of the sort. Go on, Josh.
I don't think anything like nationality or anything comes into discussion when we're talking about being critical of every player. Like, no player on that team is exempt from criticism, whether you're Richarlison, who's Brazilian, Romero, who is Argentinian, whether you're Oliver Skip, who's English, whether you're Basuma, who is
Mali. He's from Mali. I don't know if that's Veliz or I don't know.
I didn't want to butcher it. It does not matter where you're from. You are not exempt from criticism. We support the club as a whole, not just one. There is no agenda against any player on this squad whatsoever. Right?
Correct.
We as fans are entitled to be critical of the club that we love. And if everyone here, there is nothing more than what anyone would love here is for Sonny to prove us all wrong, especially those that have been against him. There is nothing more than. And
absolutely, because it does mean
if Sonny comes
success.
good, if Sonny comes good, I eat my words and I'll take it back and I'll retract. But just bear in mind, right? I was heavily critical of Harry Kane for 2 seasons straight. The season when he down tool because he didn't get the move to City, I called it out. I was the one that was going against him. No player is exempt from criticism, regardless of whether you've been here 10 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You're not exempt from criticism.
I agree with that. And I think this is a great time for Sonny to prove. Adrian, I know you're giggling. I'm not trying to get back into it. But again, it goes back to my point that I think this is a big year for a lot of players that frankly, I hold to a high regard and I want to see them turn good. Again, the best way to fix a problem, the first step to fixing a problem is acknowledging the problem exists. And Son's already done that. He's already began the work. So we should see a much improved Son. We should see a much improved Romero. We should see a much improved on a lot of aspects. Those are players that I'm looking at right now to say, look, it's time for you to be the man I know you are, to be that guy that I know you can be. I want to say big up Future Music. I agree with this sentiment 100%. Says everyone on here has to absorb every opinion and idea from all corners of the globe. I don't know if a sphere has corners, but the metaphorical corners, no doubt. Multiple cultures in one place, one love. Come on, you Spurs. We all love Spurs. We all want what's best for Spurs. And I think no matter where you lie with any opinion, you only want what's best for your club. We all just have different ways of going about it. Some people build a house differently than the way other people build a house. But it doesn't mean you can't live in both. That both are not suitable for life. But Jim also comes in with a super chat. Big up Jim for the super chat on the channel. Says, Jacob, I'm Maltese. I thought that was a dog. He says, I am Maltese. Hope Kate's no racist. I thought Maltese was a dog. I'm not. America's school system. Blame it on America's school system. But I don't know.
He's from Malta, but Maltese is a dog, and Maltese is a chocolate. So he's like my little chocolate lab dog from Malta.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Gotta love the love.
He's a canine chocolate racist, right?
And also a folk gun if you like black and white movies.
Jim knows me more than anybody and knows that I just am not that sort of person. I like everyone. So
I hate everybody.
Yeah, I know you do, Sheriff.
Mark just pops in. I hate everybody. Yeah, I love that. Unequivocally, everyone gets the same treatment. I like it. Yeah. Big up Zapur. Big up Adrian Lawrence says players aren't exempt from criticism and neither should fans. I completely agree. Criticism, yes. But like, let's all just abuse. Yeah, exactly. Being critical is fine.
Criticism.
In every aspect in life, you have to look at it with some kind of critical thinking in order for it to be successful or, turn its fate around. Anyway, Battle Juice says, come on, people with special ideological protection from government, usually ending in phobe. I don't know what this means. Phobie? Phoebe? Phoebe from Friends?
Phoebe Cates.
Maybe it's probing.
Maybe that's who you're talking about. I don't know. Spurs is the oldest English supporters club in Malta. Yeah. Oh, interesting, Adrian. Did not know that. Couldn't tell you where Malta is.
I thought it was Cyprus.
And I'm still getting paid.
I thought it was Cyprus that was the oldest international Spurs fan base.
I'm going to look that up because if it is Cyprus, then yeah, proud of my little country, man.
There you go.
Malta is lovely.
Well, I do appreciate
it. Only a lot of Greek Cypriots in North London, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Big community. So
loads where I live.
The guy that I go when I go to a game, there's a little burger van that's owned by a Greek Cypriot, and I absolutely love him. His name's Mem. He's absolutely brilliant. I love him.
I know that one. I know that one, Josh.
Yeah, it's on Park Lane.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I know that one. I do. Now get off my land.
Racist.
Hey, that's racist again. Yes, whoever it was in the chat calling you out, I completely agree with you. Yes.
The Texas accent's coming out next. Don't worry.
Country folk, yeah.
Yeah. I think, Mark, when we finish scrumping tomorrow, we'll go and look for cake.
Yes.
Yeah, come find me.
Zapor says, must we need to fact check the amount of Spurs fans in Malta? Just let them have it.
No, because I'm very competitive. If it's Cyprus, I want to say that it's Cyprus.
There you go. I love that energy. Well, Mia, I'll go ahead and start with you. And please don't make it as quick and short and sweet as your score prediction, because it's going to give me time to pull up your channel and put it into the chat. So what do you got going on this weekend?
I will be doing the post match on Sunday at 5 o'clock UK time. I have changed my times about, so I'm going to be doing now from 5 o'clock. I'll be doing on a Sunday and Thursday if the matches are Saturday. If they're a Sunday match, it will be Monday and Friday at 5 o'clock that I'll be doing my pre and post matches. I also do every day. I put in my I do my transfers early in the morning as well. So if you're up early in the UK, I always try and put them out by about 8 o'clock. So yeah, I'm busy.
Oh, you're busy, but guess what? You can catch her there. I put it in the chat. There's Mia's channel, Spurs Between the Lines. Congrats on the 1K. Well deserved, well earned. You work really hard, so you deserve it.
And same back to you for your 2K, Jacob.
Oh yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you. To do it 5 months after we hit 1K, that was pretty special. I was pretty proud of that. Not gonna lie. Mark, the sheriff, where can we find you except for on the Western Trail, blazing it up, shooting it up, hog tying and wrangling and taggling with your posse? What's going on, man? Where can people find you Saturday? You going to the game, right?
No.
I thought you said you were. No, that was Adrian. Sorry. Mixing the left side up.
No, people can find me in the pub hating on absolutely everybody.
There you go.
He's got a fag in one hand and a can of scrumpy in the other. Let's go.
No.
He meant a cigarette. Any Americans? He meant cigarettes.
Yes.
That's finger pointing and stereotyping that all people drink cider, right?
Cider gives me the shits. I ain't drunk that for years.
This show's really taken a bit of a turn for the worse at the moment, hasn't it?
It's been taken left, right, circles, loop-de-loops. You know what? It's been a journey. We're almost on 2.5 hours. Both of my ass cheeks are numb. So just fair warning. I'm not sitting too pretty right now. Adrian, you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Well, you can find me under my name here on Twitter. And that will give you
let me put the comment away.
And that will give you the link to my Facebook channel. Facebook page, basically. There's 12,000 of us there. Right? If people want to come there.
Me.
And me.
Yeah, well, including loads of you, obviously. Yeah, but I don't do a podcast, Zapper. I mean, thanks for your comment, your kind words. I appreciate them. I do appear on podcasts now. I've started doing them this year because I stopped for 3 years. So it's nice that people invite me. I appreciate it, Jacob. I appreciate all the channels that invite me.
Of course, you're always welcome here. You know that. Big up Chelsea Blue and Blue coming and hitting that like for us. Well, there you have it. Go find Adrian Stroka. He's on Twitter. He's on Facebook. You can get a hold of the man. Thank you for joining in today too, Adrian. Always a pleasure having you in the house.
It's a pleasure to come on, mate. It's a pleasure to come on. I love the show. Bit of banter today. Good bit of banter.
Yeah, a bit of back and forth. Nothing wrong with it. I got a little heated. The pits are cooling off.
Which is fine, and it's good to get. And I like even my views to be challenged because it gives you something to think about.
Absolutely.
Listen, the world would be a very boring place if we all agreed with each other.
True.
I don't agree with that.
True. I just
Josh,
hope that we don't talk about Sonny for about another 10 years. You know what I mean?
oh, we'll be. Trust me. Even if he bags a hat trick or he has a dud again, it's gonna be the hot topic of discussion. Don't you worry, Adrian. Tomorrow you're gonna be talking about it. The next day you're gonna be talking about it.
If Sonny scores a hat trick tomorrow, no one's going to come on your show, mate.
No one's gonna want to talk to me nicely.
You'll be on your own, mate, doing a monologue. All right.
Josh, I'm going to come to you in 1 second, only because the link that I have copied in my chat right now is Kate. So I'm going to give Kate a second to plug your channel. Then Josh, I'll come to you. Kate, putting your channel link into the chat. I encourage anyone who wants to battle her, wants to go head to head with Kate of the United Kingdoms, then find her here at this channel right there. Go give her a like and subscribe.
Yeah, go to Kate's channel. We even get to talk about football sometimes on there.
Do you know the funny thing is, my channel is the most chilled channel on the planet. There's never any controversy. I save that for when I come on other people's channels. Mine's talking about football, knickers, sweets, a bit of everything. We very rarely have any confrontation. Would be grateful if anyone comes over. I'm not sure I'll get any from today's. I'm still getting loads of hate from someone in particular in chat, which I honestly do find really offensive, especially after I apologised. But yeah, my channel is just a place to talk about Spurs and have a laugh. And I've got utmost respect for everybody in this chat. They all know me. They know what sort of person I am. So that's all I need to say.
It's very chill.
I heard you hate the Maltese dogs and the Maltese people.
And people from the and people from the West Country. Yes.
And I don't like Texas.
Oh, hell no. Oh, now you. Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, no.
Honey, get the horse ready. I'm riding out tonight.
I don't think I'll ever be invited on this show ever again.
No, don't worry. You're always invited. Even if your opinions are diluted, your assessments are completely wrong and misguided. That's why I'm here, Kate, to help steer you on the right direction. In Romero's, I trust. In Sonny, I trust. In Ange, talk to me nicely, Papa. That's what I say. Josh, speaking Spurs, there's the link. What's coming up on your channel, my friend?
Well, not much at the moment. I had a little rant about Daniel Levy after we sold Harry Kane, but that was when emotions and tensions were high. So if you want to see what I'm like when I'm very emotional, when I go on little tangents, exactly. When I go on little tangents, feel free to go over there. I will be doing some more Football Manager stuff, bringing it back to like rebuilding Tottenham. I see the grid on. I see the smile on Goover's face. I used to do these all the time, and they used to go down an absolute storm. Like I take suggestions from the chat, so they're very interactive live streams. I will be doing some more Spurs-related content as well about match previews and stuff like that. No streams or anything, but just videos themselves. If you want to talk to me, if you want to get involved in anything live, go over to my Twitter. It's at Josh Pav with 2 V's. I go on Twitter Spaces quite a lot. I host my own Twitter Spaces. I get involved in other people's Twitter Spaces. It's a good place for debate. If you want to come over and have a chat, feel free that way. But yeah, that's me. Thanks for having me on. Nice to see some friendly faces in here once again. Kova, glad to see you back on the streams, mate.
I hope you're not talking about my face because it ain't been friendly, Josh. I've been.
No, your face is just handsome as shit, bro.
Oh, well, thank you. You flatter me. If you knew how wet my armpits are right now, you probably wouldn't think I'm handsome. As soon as I open the door, my wife's going to be like, can you please air out that room? Because she said, yeah. Hey, I'm just keeping it real. I'm passionate.
My boys' bedrooms when I open their doors, I'm like, you're disgusting.
I like the smell of men sweating. I love it when Jim's all sweaty. I think it's lovely.
Well, allegedly, scientifically speaking, that's a good thing because they say only 2 out of 3 of the opposite sex's pheromones are scientifically going to attract you. So good thing that Jim was part of that fraction there.
Oh, yes, he is.
There you go, Jim. Have fun tonight. Chris is in the house. First time here. Put his channel in there. Got a newish channel, right? That you're doing over there. What you got going on over there?
Yeah, I talk about Arsenal mainly. No, not really. I just do shorts. I do videos. Started doing lives on Thursday with Ellie, Queen Ellie. Big shout out to her.
Big shout out to Queen Ellie every single time.
Yeah, Eltel Cockerel, which is Jose, and Mia's jumped on, our super guest. I might actually make her, I don't know, secretary, because I'm her secretary. So she might be.
No, I won't be your secretary. I do not think so. That's not how it works. Know your place, okay?
I'm the boss on my channel. I think I'll decide that.
I'm not going to.
Anyway,
you're not going to make me secretary and your boss. I just won't come on your channel. So let's not argue about this.
I think it's safe to say that Mia's been sacked before she was already hired.
Just make Sonny secretaries, captain of everything. You know what I mean, around here.
All right. You can do the tea then. Right. Yeah, and basically, 2 months. I've been going for 2 months, and I appreciate everyone that subscribed or that has commented, and everyone that gets involved. And I do it for mental health reasons, for my own mental health reasons, to as I say, slowly appear from the bucket that my life is currently in. So that's the only reason. I don't do it for super chats because I can't do that, but it's not aimed at that. It's just to help myself and to make friends and to chat about Spurs and football. So that's basically why I do it. Anyone's welcome to participate, and drama free. Don't like drama. So that's basically why I do it.
Interesting. You don't like drama, but you decided to appear for the first time on this channel in the midst of a moisture storm, should I say?
Yeah,
a moisture storm on my end for sure.
I missed the racist part. I mean, I'm so sorry about that. I'm gonna have to rewatch it. So
I assure you, there was nothing. There was nothing racist. It was just. It was just a wrong opinion. From a very lovely lady.
Closest we got to it was when Kate held up that pillowcase and she was cutting. Oh no! Wait.
Oh shit! I missed that. Was it a white pillowcase?
You know what? I
thought that was only in America.
A white pillowcase, that's racist, right?
That's a white pillowcase. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Marks and Spencer's probably. But yeah, I do like my humor. I do have my own sense of humor, so that can be taken wrongly sometimes. But I do like to have fun. So you know, everyone's welcome.
Hey, I try to keep the vibes immaculate on here. Exactly. As you can tell, things get a little, you know, when you're sailing the 7 seas, it's not always going to be the smoothest waters.
No, it's not.
And sometimes when you're chartering I'm not even going to go there, because in America's past, whenever we uncharted waters, they're actually chartered waters, and then we land on land that no one's there at, but apparently there are people there at. We're just going to claim it for ourselves. But that's neither here nor there. This is not a political show. I'm not going into America's attempted genocide, but we're going to end it there before I keep talking about the faults of my country. But you know what? I am thankful to be here today. I'm thankful to everyone who tapped in the chat, everyone who's here on the panel. Sean was here earlier. Shout out Sean. But outside of that, I think everyone who's joined has hung out the whole time. So appreciate y'all being here. We're 3 likes away from 100. So, you know, just hit that like. Let's get 100. We have 133 votes. So 36 people either disliked or didn't hit a like, or at least hit the thumbs down. That's what I'm going to start saying. If you don't like the video, at least dislike it, you bastard.
I think that I think that I can speak for everyone that we're thankful for you for doing what you do as well. So big up to you, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's not easy hosting the show about Sonny.
101 likes. Easy tit.
There it is. Hey, I love y'all. I get in. 102. You know what? There we go. I appreciate y'all that just hit that like. I do appreciate. I think we got 4 new subs throughout the show. Very nice. We didn't go down. We didn't get canceled. So that's always good. Well done. I do appreciate everyone who tapped in. I do want to say shout out to every single person in the chat, even if you vehemently disagreed, or maybe have a misunderstanding of where someone's coming from with their point. I hope everyone here knows how much they mean to me, that you're appreciated being here. And let's just remember, it's all football. Unless someone crosses that line, ain't no need to go there.
And I'm sure you realize we're not anti-American.
I don't know about you, Adrian. Well, some of the rest I could say, yeah, but Adrian, I don't know.
That silence said it all.
Big up Daniel Field. You did miss the party. Go back and watch it. It was heated. I got heated at one. Sean was like, "Whoa, Jay, I don't know if Sean's ever seen me get that animated."
I haven't. I was scared.
You were scared? I didn't mean to scare anybody.
I shut up. I just sat there and thought, sugar, I ain't saying nothing.
Well, see, here's the thing: I was like,
that's because you were responsible for the grenade that was thrown.
Don't forget, guys, Son Part 2, next pop-up.
I also want to make sure I got my point across effectively, and I was like, I'm easily distracted, as everyone here knows. I'm very much like a squirrel in a plethora of trees running among the branches. You don't know what tree I'm on. I don't really either, but I can easily be pulled in any direction. And so, like, I get a little frustrated when everyone's talking and distracting me, and I'm like, no, the point I'm trying to make, it's starting to escape me. So I'm like, everybody hang on. All right, I have my thought, but let me get it out before I lose it. So that's why
Jacob's never distracted. Jacob. No, what shouldn't? Well, forget Sonny. Why wasn't Eric Dyer made captain, Jacob?
Yeah, why, Jacob?
Good point.
Yeah, Jacob, why?
Good.
Yeah, Jacob, why?
You guys never win anything, right? No.
We love Texas.
It's because he laughs at us being losers. That's why he's then getting chosen captain. He was sitting in the front. If y'all remember, he was sitting in the front of that announcement video, and he was eagerly waiting. I'm right here, Dad. Let me know when to step up and assume my responsibility. And he said, also, Sonny's not just a captain. I have a leadership group of other captains, and Eric Dyer's got to be thinking, surely, don't call me Shirley. This is my time to shine. And he said, a guy who's taken one shit in the building and a guy who can barely speak English properly. We're going to take them too. Eric Dyer, I don't even know who you are. And I love that energy. I love what Big Ange brings to the table. He just, and again, I do not subscribe to the fact that anyone other than him chose captains and leadership groups. So that's just where I stand.
You're trying to say that Ange brings the energy then? Is that what you're saying?
Ange
brings the
epitomizes the phrase BDE. Of course, he walked in, laid it on the table, first interview, and I was in love. I'm just saying. How can you not? Kate, you have some. You have your
broke the table when he did that.
I've told you I like the girth, man, and he brought it.
Did you not see what I said earlier about flags? You've got to have flagswithgirth.com. That's that should be
girth.com. I need to subscribe to that domain or figure out who's got the rights to that. Kate, you've been holding your hand up like a young child in school, waiting your turn.
I can't say that. I can't say that, so you can't say that. Two things. I like the girth, but that wasn't what I was going to say. I actually got 4 new subscribers from this. I thought I was going to go down. I've gone up.
No, that's because the community that we've been working on here, United Spurs America's a loving one. And you know what? 3 of those subs may be just so they can tell you to F off with your son hate. I'm just kidding. It's not hate. It's not hate. Again, she was just saying her opinion, which happens to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
3 or 400 now.
Only 3 off 400. So if there's another 3 of y'all in the building, want to go subscribe to Kate, go tell her she's wrong every stream. Go ahead.
Come on.
Are you okay with the banter in the chat? Are you okay with that?
Who, me?
Yeah, like in your chat of your shows.
Yeah, I always banter with anybody. I don't like being called racist 20 times in chat, but anything else goes. I'll banter with anyone about anything.
You're not a racist, Kate, for Christ's sake.
Of course
yeah,
you're
only sexist, ageist.
Yeah.
What other words? I can't even
think
of them.
Ageist. I'm married to an old man.
Oh, Jim, you old dog, the dirty Maltese.
Old Maltese terrier.
I also want to say big up to JJ. I don't know if I'm saying JJ. Peace and love to everyone. Come on, you Spurs. That's the vibe that I'm trying. I want the vibes to be immaculate. When I do this by myself, it's definitely not nearly as heated. I get emotional. I'm passionate, as we all are. We love the same thing, but we all want the same thing. I don't know what this means. Man. It's tantamount to bullying the stuff about Eric Dyer.
No, Eric Dyer is subject to criticism because of the shit he portrays week in, week out, and
I think if you go and off the pitch. If you go in the public face and you laugh at the fact that we have all these, I've done this. I've danced this dance many times, but y'all know how I feel about Eric Dyer. Big up Daniel Field as well. Big up Skinny Lee. We don't love Eric Dyer, but he still loves us. Don't worry. Jacob, you go get heated. Someone for your guy Romero. I do get heated for Romero as well. I will defend him till high heaven, just because sometimes he just needs You need to show a little love to the dogs. Kuva's shaking his head.
Yeah, love.
I finally
I
got.
was gonna say love.
I've been recruiting Romero gang all day, but no one wants to step into the streets with me. Come on.
Come on, give the guy a break. He's kept him chained all week long and fed raw meat. You know, what do you expect him to do when we?
He's also in my dungeon a lot of the time as well, Romero. So you know.
Also, yeah, Mia's. She likes.
I'm all
Jacob
for
looked like he was
breaking a
about to
few
go-
players. Yeah, I'm all
Jacob
for a player
looked like he was
that
gonna
breaks a
go
few
to
players,
the
makes them
story.
scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what'd you say, Kuva? I was doing my.
No, Romero. I love him because he's prepared to break a few players and make everybody scared of him.
He would make a
And he'll
brilliant
look
number-
like this while he does it.
I think he would make a brilliant number 6, a deep line one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's
don't
what I was
start,
going to say
Adrian.
earlier.
Oh.
I think there's a possibility of him going as that number 6 role or a very advanced centre back in a 3, and you bring in Sanchez and VDV to have the pace to cover him at the back, and then he's
No Sanchez,
massively
no
pushing
Sanchez.
forward.
Goodbye, Sanchez. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, but that's one of the best we got at the moment for pace. That's all.
Well, no,
Yeah,
we'll
that's
bring
true.
another centre back in, and it's goodbye, Sanchez.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
He's captain of Colombia. He ain't going to want to play 3rd or 4th choice, so he can fuck off, basically.
No, you're not allowed
I
to
said
say
that
that.
without
That'll be
swearing.
racist. We'll get a Colombian in
That's
there.
nah, yeah, you can't do that.
Okay. All right.
You know what, Davinson Sanchez, keep balling, keep proving the doubters wrong. I commented on his tweet and I said, let the apologies be as loud as the critiques. And you know what? He didn't like it, but I like to think that he saw it. And you know
let's
what?
forget that
I love the mentality,
and we'll
right?
never-
That's what
we'll
we're
never
saying
win
is so
nothing.
good about Emerson Royale is the fact that put under the cheese grater, and what happened? Now we've made a nice pizza with that cheese, and he's out there, he's cooking. He's
Jacob,
got
I
leading
knew
our
a
Golden
blind
Boot
man who
race.
played to death trying to read a cheese grater.
What? Big up Rich in the house. Was that Curb Your Enthusiasm in the photo? Big up Jacob and crew late to the show. You missed a fun one. You missed a heated one, a passionate one. Don't get passionate and heated twisted. What if it's a heated, passionate night? Who knows? We got another person in there for the Romero gang. Everybody line up, join the gang. You know who's leading the charge, baby. Talk to me nicely. Raymond's son, smash the like if you agree that Arsenal fan base exudes SDE, that small dick energy. Hit that like. Big up Raymond's son says, come on, you Spurs. Big up everyone who's tuned in. I have been it's been a fun one, y'all. I've been very sweaty throughout, so that always means a good show. The amount of robustness always dictates the quality levels here. And you know what? I want to say big ups to every single one of you who did hit that like. We're on 107 likes, 141 votes. I'm going to end the poll in the chat. Again, here we are. How are you feeling going into tomorrow's match? 49% says confident in Ange to get the win. So almost half of us believe we're going to get that dub tomorrow. Second place, 27% says will be a fun one either way. In Ange we trust. And then tied at 12%, no way we win, draw at best. There's Scott's answer. Wasn't Scotty enough today, but I'll work on that. And then as well as home debut is a must win for Ange. 12% believes that as well. So I don't know if it's a must win, but I think it is we will win. I'm going to end the show with my score prediction and goal scores. I'm saying 4-3 Tottenham, an end-to-end affair, a 7-goal affair, 4-3. We win the match late on with a Heung son or someone off the bench with a late goal, and we win it all. Because you know what? I think we're going to concede goals. We're going to be open. We're going to invite Marcus Rashford into dangerous places, and he's a top player, fantastic on that left wing or at the striker role. So you know what? I definitely think he's going to get a goal or two, at least one, possibly two. And I think someone who they think won't score will score, because that's just kind of what we do around here. We let that random person no one thought would score. He's going to have a blinder and he'll score. I don't know who it is yet, but. So I'm saying a fourth. No, it's not Vicario, Kate. Oh, so you hate Italians?
I love Italians. Mamma mia.
Also, where it go? That way, isn't it? Oh, you got to put the comment away again because you didn't plug it earlier. So I'll plug.
Yeah, you didn't plug
Kuva,
Kuva.
I was
You're so racist.
Fuck these damn Scandinavians. Let me do that, Kuva.
All I'm saying is Bobby K and I are on tomorrow night And
Leave a Bobby Kane.
Beautiful hot chocolate Bobby K in all his glory. Well, not
You can't say that.
Yes, you can. Yes,
Yeah,
you can.
Bob calls himself that, so
Chocolate,
you can say
chocolate's
it.
racist. Right.
It's our thing. So we're on tomorrow night, and if you don't particularly like football, we're the show for you because we generally ignore it.
Yeah, I've been kicked out of a few chats because I'm like, what do y'all think about this? And y'all like, shut up, Jacob. We're talking about cookies and chocolates. Yeah. Well, anyway,
Crying over Kane, yeah. Get over your Kane pain, Jacob. He's gone, right?
You know, everyone telling me how to feel about this breakup ain't feeling the way that I feel. So telling me how to feel's not considerate. All right. Everyone mourns differently.
We understand. Listen, we understand that you're in mourning and it's painful. But if you was my friend, I'd say, listen, pull yourself together and man the hell up. Come on now.
I like watching Harry in a Bayern Munich shirt.
No. Not my shirt, not my problem. That's what I say.
No, it's not my problem, but I just like watching him because I've got the utmost respect for the man. I think I enjoy watching him play.
I hope he never wins anything. If he's not winning for us, sod him.
I love that energy. Love that energy.
Right.
Me as Savage.
Not
We're
my
gonna be
shirt,
here
not
another.
my problem. I swear I've heard that line in a porno.
So you watch too much of it then, Kuva. I don't know. I don't watch it, mate.
Well, here's the link for 3 Spurs boys. They're on tomorrow, 3:30 my time, so that's 10:30 p.m. in the UK. If we get our asses whooped, this will be the place to go because they won't be talking about it. So it'll be a good time. I always love this channel. Shout out 3 Spurs boys, Bobby K, Kuva. I do apologize. I didn't realize it's because all the fucking shuffling and duffling that was going on.
Because you're a squirrel jumping around trees.
Yeah, that's right. That is true. Yeah. You know what? I tried to stay on the straight and narrow today. I've learned squeezing a little squeezy ball helps. So thank you, Patty Hartnett, for the Limerick Spurs squeezy. I know he sent it for my son, but I stole it from him and I squeeze it to help me concentrate.
Don't squeeze your own balls because that might result in
I had that problem before, Kane. I have been trying to sign this show off for about 50 minutes.
Sorry.
But no doubt, no, it's okay. It's pop up with Jacob. These things get out of bounds sometimes. I think one pop up with Jacob, we were discussing about Cher Ami, the hero pigeon from the wars, from World War II, was a hero pigeon, saved hundreds of American lives. One single messenger pigeon saving American lives, forever immortalized in the museum. By the way,
deadly snipers pigeons.
The pigeon sadly died when they tried to pin all the medals on it.
Yeah.
They actually did try to keep this thing alive. But he is stuffed. It's taxidermied. It's at a museum in America. You can go see Cher Ami, the hero pigeon. And I'm hoping that Richarlison can turn his game around and become Spurs' Cher Ami.
Pigeon was thrilled to bits with the medals it got. He went, got any
it's not funny to joke about. Cher Ami got tagged up, flying with the message, got shot down. But guess what? It took flight again. All right, heavy metal.
With
fucking
a tail
pigeon.
feather missing, that brave bastard circling on a camp.
Y'all just wait. We're about to see that. We're going to see it, and y'all going to talk to me nicely on Saturday.
You see it in wacky races. Stop the pigeon. Yeah.
Look up Rich. No, I don't mean he'll be stuffed in taxi.
It actually has its own Wikipedia page as well.
Yeah, you thought I was lying. You thought I was lying about the hero pigeon. This is a fucking war hero for America. Y'all better recognize and respect. Exactly, Kate. This is Cher Ami's world. We're just living in it.
Don't
I love that. Born
Dick Dastardly. Right.
I love this as well. Born April 21st, 1918, died June 13th, 1919, aged 1. It has to be so specific.
He had a good innings.
War hero. War hero.
Mr. Pidge.
Service branch, United States Army.
Lieutenant Pigeon. Yeah.
He could have been our captain. He's had a bit of army experience as well.
Can you imagine that? Ange doing the pigeon dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he won things, didn't he?
A heroic pigeon
Huh?
that was
Yeah.
a succulent pie. You know?
He's got one in the wins on World Wars. It's more than any other player we got today.
Exactly that.
The hero we need. Come on, Richarlison. Become our Jeremy. Save us from destruction. But anyway, that's going to do it for this Pop-Up with Jacob. Nearly 3-hour stream. If that can't garner a like, then you know what? I just don't know what the hell will. You need a hug. But either way, I'm going to go back to either like it or dislike it, but don't sit on the fucking fence here. How about that? Either like the video or dislike the video. I get plenty of people disliking lately. Yeah, plenty of people dislike the video, and that's cool. You can live the life you so choose. I'm not here to dictate how to live your life or to provide feedback to content creators. But if you enjoyed the show, hit that like if you're on live or playback. It will definitely help the channel. And big ups to everyone who helped us along the way. What's that?
I'm talking to Jim in the chat.
Oh, you said Jacob. Oh, excuse me. Big up to Mama Coates. Thanks, Jacob and panel. Come on, you Spurs. Like the stream, people. The vibes are the vibes were wet today, and sometimes not the fun kind either. But it was a fun one.
Wet, it's moist. If it ain't moist, it's girth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was moist.
Adrian,
today.
you know what you sign up for when you come to
that
United Spurs of
word.
America. A lot of moisture, a lot of girth. That's what we provide here. And it's all about
Embrace the moisture and the girth.
Tell my wife.
Oh.
Tell my wife.
And you start off with like 10-inch Sibley. You know what I mean?
He's the GOAT. He's supported. He has spent so much money on this channel that I have to recognize the GOAT every single time. Alan 10-inch Sibley.
Yeah, well, listen, I ain't being funny. You know what I mean? I wish I had a 12-inch dick instead of this enormous thing.
There we go. There we go. What a way to end the stream with Adrian talking about his big, long dong. Yeah, I don't know. You can get that at anywhere else in YouTube. So, you know, hit that like. Why not? But big ups to everyone who did join for the journey. It was fun. If you're watching on playback, hit the comments below with what your thoughts were, if any at all. But big ups to everyone who has hit the like and tuned in. I want to say a special thank you to everyone in the chat and on the panel as well. I've said that already. So let me sign the show out by saying, I hope we stay fresh. I hope you stay blessed. I hope you up the motherfucking lads. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Ready? Ready, Jake?
Yeah, come on. Quiz.